All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen's Unstoppable League Saturday nights, like we like them. It's semifinals this week, boys. We have Dorado Gaming Iota versus
Nope.
DRG
Nope.
off in the
Nope.
abyss.
Nope.
But here tonight, we are
Okay.
locked in
Okay.
Poggaroo'd versus the Mind Goblins.
Yeah.
Y'all thought I was gonna say something else. No, I
I
lined it
thought
up.
I thought you were about to go off to the not the series we are watching, but you got there eventually. Got there eventually. We're gonna
Uh,
pretend like that was planned, right?
That was intentional. That was 100% intentional.
Yeah, I'll believe you.
Either way. As always, joined with me here, we have DBZ freaking Darla Wolf. How you guys doing this Saturday?
I'm all right.
Doing okay. A little tired, but you know what? It's nothing that a
Yeah.
little fun little energy drink called
Get
G
it,
Fuel can't do
get
to
it out
wake
of the
me
way
up.
right now.
There it is. There it
Get it
is.
out the way. I took a
We're
nap before this, so I
Gotta get
gotta
it,
have a
gotta
little
get
bit
it
of
in
this.
in playoffs. Wait all the regular season, no sponsors, but now we still don't have any, but we're trying to get them now. So there you
Yeah, there you go.
Playoffs,
go. Once again,
we gotta
pretending to be
drop.
sponsored by G Fuel.
We gotta drop those plugs now.
Yeah, yeah.
Indeed. But the reason why I've been taking naps in the middle of the day is because I've been watching a lovely little tournament called the World Championships that are currently going on in Korea.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
This
champions,
is
isn't that soccer?
no,
Sick and
but
tired of you.
I will casually drop, there's no big deal that NA made it further than EU at World, so we are the better region, just so
True,
anyone wants
true.
to know.
And we beat EU to get there. How lit is that?
Indeed,
That is,
indeed.
we stomped EU to get there. Let me just find
True.
that in
It's
fast.
true, we
True.
did. My client just bugged out real bad just now.
Yeah, right.
League of
Games.
Legends client.
Why are you sending me a am I in the wrong game? Darter?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, you guys are in the wrong game.
Are you
Are we?
sure? Because I copied the.
Oh, I'm in the wrong game.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, are you sure about that?
All right.
But you know what's hilarious? All of these guys were in that lobby too.
Yeah. Well,
We all were in the wrong game.
the hardest thing for League of Legends players to do is get themselves into lobby.
True,
So
true, 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 true.
it.
All right, we're having a very hard time clearly, which means that sounds like everyone else could also use a little bit of. No, I'm just kidding.
All
Um,
right.
So let's
Okay.
bring it to this matchup in particular. So we've casted
Yes.
both of these teams. We expected KEKW'd and Poggaroo'd to come in first, and then
Yep.
Mind Goblin ended up being the third seed because they were second seed prior to that. But they lost a couple of games at the end of the season that kind of brought them down to third seed. But they are still a pretty solid team, at least from
Yeah.
what we saw. I'm pretty excited for where this potentially could go in terms of like this series. I think that it's going to be fun. We're going to get I don't think we're going to get all 5 games per se. If actually we can just throw it to predictions real quick.
Yeah.
I know Darter said 3-0. I said 3-1, and then Hyper said 3-2, and the Melu also said 3-0 as well.
Yeah.
So kind of cool that we're all semi on the same page with KEKW and Poggaroo'd taking this matchup in particular.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows, like, because they are the favorites in this instance, with them being the first seed, I think we can expect great things from them. But KEKW and Poggaroo'd did take them to 3 games in their series in week 7, so that's why I think this could be close. Like how I always say, either 3 close games or a full 5 games, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And as much as PF Mind Goblins are third seed, they did tie with Dragoons at 5-2, so they were tied for second, lost the tiebreaker. I believe is because of head-to-heads and stuff like that. So they were third seed, but still second best record in the division. And like you said, they've had all of their games have been at either 2-0 wins or 2-1 losses. Fairly certain. I don't think they've been 2-0 all the entire time.
I have
So
to point something out real fast.
Yep.
Is it safe to say that Group B is the better group because they have 3 members in the semis right now, whereas Group A only has the top team? What's up, son? You want to come join the crew?
I think. Uh, I think yes. I mean, 3 out of the 4 teams are Division B teams. I think it's not necessarily like that much stronger just because of Dorado Gaming. I think we'll probably get them and one of these 2 teams obviously in the finals if I had to guess. Although Dragoons are a fairly good team. But yeah, I mean, you can't really say otherwise since 3 out of the 4 teams are from Div B.
Right. Very, very, very interesting and fun that we have coming our way. Hyper's camera just froze, so that's kind of
Yep.
a little bit of oh, goodbye, and we lost him. Ironically, it would be really funny if if his kid turned off his computer.
That would be really funny. We might see him randomly in the middle of draft just come back in.
Yeah. But just want to also kind of like circle back to
Yeah.
kind of what's going on in the state of the game. So currently, we did mention the Jinx nerfs that came through a couple weeks ago. So we kind of are in agreement that we're not expecting to see her as like pick or ban this week, especially since in
Yeah.
your own experience in your games, you're not seeing it that way either. So
Yeah.
this could go pretty interestingly in either way, depending on what happens. And hello, by the way, Caster Desk for the time being, while we get our
Yes.
mans back. And it looks like we're gonna get started with draft here. Why am I hearing myself twice?
Oh,
Hello.
it was the yeah.
Oh,
I
he's
heard that as
back.
well. Yeah.
Well,
Like
hello.
you said, in my own experience, Jinx is not like super high priority first picks. However, it does depend on the team. And it really depends on if you have the answers to it and the right answers at that. I do think that things like Jarvan Orianna, especially Jarvan, is a very good answer to Jinx B1 because she doesn't have the ability to escape the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
However, with how good Thresh is, it's still not necessarily a one and done counter pick because they can just play Jinx Thresh and he has the same level of escapability. So, but these bans make a decent amount of sense. I mean, Ziggs is probably the best bot laner on the patch.
Yep.
Next to Seraphine with Senna specifically. Also, Tom Kench TK Senna is still very broken.
Yeah, he's
Ashben,
back.
I don't think is necessary on red side as much as she's still very strong. There are a lot of things in meta that are very good against it. And
Yeah.
there's the Jarvan ban kind of hinting at a Jinx B1, so I think they probably should ban it away, or the Orianna, one of the two. I think the Orianna is more devastating to go against, but they will decide to ban the Jinx instead. So we'll see if
Okay, cool.
PF My Goblins decide to go with the Orianna first pick, and then what KNP Ford decide to answer that with.
Yeah, I agree. And now as we kind of pinch down like the 80 carry pool a little bit, that leaves our two classics still open, the Xayah and Kai'Sa. Kalista also another one that a lot of players have been playing as of recently, which that's kind of where the
Yeah.
Ash ban would kind of make sense to me, is probably for Kalista if they decide that
Mhm.
they want to play it on the side of KNP. But we're gonna deciding on first pick, and Rakan is the first pick, and I
Kai'Sa
kind of
Nautilus, come on.
can understand that, and it
Xayah?
looks like KNP are gonna go for the Xayah takeaway,
Yep.
arguably. In this instance, I would say that's probably a smart choice because you don't ever want
Yeah.
Xayah and Rakan together.
I personally like the Kai'Sa side of the Xayah Kai'Sa matchup. That's also because
Hmm.
I'm more comfortable on the Kai'Sa side of the matchup. But the Xayah denial, like you mentioned, you don't ever really want to give over the lovers lane unless you are playing something specifically good at countering it, which is why I
Yeah.
kind of thought that they were going to go Kai'Sa Nautilus here, because that doesn't necessarily make you want to pick Xayah, but they can go Xayah Nautilus, deny this lovers lane, and then PF My Goblins, I would assume, just take the Kai'Sa side. They can go
Yeah.
Zeri as well. I think Zeri into Xayah is very good depending on what support they play. Um, but if they do take the Nautilus, it's not the greatest pick. But there's a lot of things you can play with Rakan. Probably
Yeah,
the
I
best
agree.
support on the patch, in my opinion. They already go
Leona.
Leona, actually, which is not a very... I wouldn't say it's a counter to Rakan, but it's something that can do well. Any engage versus Rakan matchups are kind of skill, with the exception being Nautilus. It's very hard to lose that side of
Okay,
the
they
matchup.
locked it. Cool. So they go ahead and lock that in. I actually like that pick a lot. Leona is definitely a really strong support. She doesn't get
Hmm.
played terribly often in the meta, that from what
Yeah.
we see. I imagine obviously because there's better options, but in this case, like you mentioned, she's really
Hmm.
good at doing engage supports. Point and click CC is
Yeah.
all of her abilities basically, and that's what makes her such a good champion. Because that E is going to go through regardless whoever it hits. It's just whoever hits at the end. And then you have the Q obviously to stop Rakan from getting too far, too deep in, and maybe she gets turned up by the ultimate. But they're kind of taking their time
Sivir.
here.
Okay, yep.
Sivir,
That
okay.
makes sense.
So Sivir, kind of, as we're
It's
going
probably
down
what
in
I
the 80
would
carry
pick
pool,
here,
it
to
kind
be
of makes sense.
honest. Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I'd either pick this or Kai'Sa. The thing with Leona, like you mentioned, she's very good at into engage supports because she's one of the only ones that has non-committal CC post 6 with Solar Flare.
Hmm.
Like Nautilus technically has the same thing, but Solar Flare is a lot less. I mean, it's not just single target, and you can use it a lot more leniently because of cooldown.
Zach, interesting. I've
But
seen this
Zac
as a
is...
combo. I've seen it as a combo with
Yeah,
the Rakan because
yeah, it
Zach kind of
is.
just jumps in and gets
This
the
makes
first
me...
knock up and follow with Rakan. But I kind
Mhm.
of, I think you were getting ready to talk about what you think they should pick on the jungle pick for KNP. That's what it sounded
I
like you
think
were gonna
Poppy
do.
is super strong here for them.
Okay.
I don't know if they will, but it's so good into both Rakan and Zac. My only concern with... yeah, okay, it makes sense. That's my main concern with Black with the Zac blind is because there's so many things that counter it. Alistar, but thankfully you do have the Leona pick already, so you're not really worried about that. But Poppy is available, so is Talia, things like that can very easily counter you. So not a huge fan of this champion blind unless you're very comfortable on it. And that the Zac pick as well makes me like the Sivir pick less.
Okay.
I think if they went with Kai'Sa instead, it would make a lot more sense going for a full dive composition. And if you have layered CC, the Featherstorm doesn't have as much value as it normally would, especially when a lot of that's knockups and uncleansable CC, because you can use the quickness to burn cleanse and then use that second that you have to get a Zac slingshot and ulti over top, which she can't cleanse. So you can use that to layer CC very well, but she does have a lot of peel. There's the Orianna ban, which it makes a lot of sense for them to do because it's best mid laner on the patch next to Syndra.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what other top laners KMP4 are going to ban. I would assume they kind of want a bruiser-ish top lane, so potentially we might see Gwen, Olaf, Irelia, Gnar, Aatrox, but they're going to go with the Zir ban.
I think that's a comfort ban.
It kind of has to be. I do know. Is it Cyclone that's mid lane? Okay, yeah, that is a comfort ban. Yeah, it's a comfort ban. Yeah. I'm actually curious to see if they want to go Nico on 4 or Syndra. It's probably one of those two champions.
Yeah, I actually think Nico would be pretty good.
They could go Silas as well, but I hate Silas blind.
I don't think there are entirely good enough ultimates as of yet to kind of deter or kind of go for a Silas pick, especially don't want to pick that on blue side potentially. So probably ban it away from KNP. So that way Ornn. Okay. Ornn items, okay, I get it. But it looks like they're gonna instantly lock in Syndra. With the Orianna banned away, that kind of means you're gonna have to pick something else that's good into her. Now I'm gonna just casually do a u.gg and say Lux is for some reason a counter. So
I hate Lux at this draft though. I think
too. It'd be really bad. Let's be real. It'd be really, really bad.
Yeah, it's like Nico, Silas isn't actually bad for PF My Goblins. It's actually pretty good into Syndra.
Yeah.
You can also go LeBlanc, but I'm not sure if they are going to go Aurelia top.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's top, not mid lane, because it's very hard to play into Syndra.
Yeah, no,
just because you're kind of just getting. Wow.
Oh, it's Aurelia mid.
It is mid.
They are gonna go for it, so they have no AP on the side of Mind.
I can just log Jackson here.
Jackson's banned. He was the first ban.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why they picked Volibear then, because I was gonna say there's no way they just picked Volibear like that. But that makes more sense. Now, I think they can just go Camille and be pretty safe. It's one of the few.
Fiora's
it's
open.
One of the few.
Camille's another good one.
Riven, Renekton. They're gonna go Malphite. I'm not sure if I like that.
Oh, Aatrox. I think Aatrox is a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now we have a complete draft for game 1. I'm kind of vibing with KNP's draft a little more, mostly because there's no AP on the other side of Mind Goblins that kind of threw that off for me.
Well,
if it was Aurelia top, I would have been fine with it. But
there is AP. There's a Zac and a Volibear, and technically Rakanda's magic damage is CC. So both of those are AP champs. However, Volibear doesn't. I mean, I'm assuming this is actually AP Volibear, given it's a Bruiser matchup. It can be. Yeah. It's just you kind of need him to be sort of bruisery. So I'm curious to see what build he actually goes. But Zac does a lot of damage even when building full tank. All he really needs is a Demotic Embrace, and he just shreds everything. So there is a lot of magic damage threat from PF Mind Goblins, but you are correct in that most of their carries are just the Irelia and the Sivir, which are completely physical.
Well, let's go for it. In the meantime, Hyper, let's get you back in here and kind of get your thoughts on this draft.
I have my mic muted, love it. Luckily managed to get back into draft. Sorry about DCing right there. My child thought it would be pretty hilarious if she shut my computer off.
Yep, we figured that's what it was.
Yeah. But luckily I had the Video Ninja saved the Video Ninja being up, saved it from actually having to completely shut down. It was like, are you sure you want to shut down running this? You still have an application running? I'm like, thank God, no.
Yeah.
Half the services in your computer are running now.
It is a pretty interesting draft, not gonna lie. I'm curious. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with the Sivir. I have the same opinion like you had, Darter, when they locked it in. As soon as Zac came in, I have a lot of thoughts about the Sivir. The Kai'Sa probably would have been a better pickup just because of the layered CC they have, and then looking at the rest of their comp through the Aurelia and the Volibear, Kai'Sa probably would have fit that.
It fits it better.
Ticket a lot better. I mean, if you're gonna go for a utility, Varus is still pretty weak in terms of meta, but his change of corruption, and he does do magic damage on top of it. So, if you were going for that like utility kind of ADC, then Varus. But maybe they picked the Sivir up to like match Zaya's wave clear in the mid lane when it comes to controlling the waves, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I can get behind it. I can see it. I can see where they're where the chef's at in this one, what they're cooking up. But interestingly enough, I'm curious to see how this mid lane is gonna go.
Me too.
Because I don't think I've seen a Syndra Aurelia matchup.
So
ever.
I have done the matchup, and
It's skill.
It's definitely skill, because it really
Yeah.
depends if like both of you are really good with managing your cooldowns in this instance. Aurelia, it's a little easier, quote unquote, because her Q basically costs nothing and you get a reset. So if you time that well and with the rest of your abilities, and while simultaneously dodging everything that Syndra can do, it's actually a pretty simple matchup for Aurelia. But the issue being is this is not gonna be that kind of like solo QS type game where it's like everyone's just blowing everything off cooldown just because. This is more calm and calculated gameplay. So I'm expecting this matchup to be a lot more even than it normally is.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Me personally, I want it to go in favor of the Aurelia because I want Aurelia to sit on me. So that's why I wanted to go in that favor.
True.
Other than that, in terms of like.
Yes, my goat. Okay, but yeah, you're right. Like normally it is not really a favorite matchup. I think in a competitive context it is more of a skill matchup though, especially if the player is comfortable on Syndra. Like you mentioned, Aurelia has the easier time in this matchup with resetting Q. She doesn't really care if the Scatter the Weak is used to cancel her dashes. But if the Syndra player can space well and has jungle hover, it's really not Aurelia favorite, because if Aurelia ever goes in, especially with a Poppy, she can just die on wave. And if Syndra even lands one good scatter while wave is pushing, because it is ranged versus melee, Aurelia can get very easily punished in this lane if the Syndra player is good. Which is why in general it's an Aurelia favorite matchup, because you do have to be good at Syndra to win this matchup. But if you are, it's very heavily skill favored, but still I think it's a little bit Aurelia sided just because of how much easier of a time she has it. But if KMP4's mid laner is good at the Syndra, then I can definitely see them winning this lane, because range versus melee and mages versus melee early can get a lot of pressure in lane.
Definitely. But now as we're going into speculate, we can finally go to our first Drake prediction of this series. I think, given based off what I'm seeing, especially from KNP4, I would very much love this to be probably an Infernal game, because that amount of burst damage, especially on let's say Syndra gets ahead, is going to be pretty great. And I know I predicted
with Infernal is going to be gross too. Let's be honest.
So I'm going Infernal for myself this game.
I'm gonna go with a Mountain Soul.
Mountain Soul. Ooh,
we're back.
Kind of gross.
I mean, to be fair,
personally, I want to see an Ocean Soul, because neither team really has burst potential. These are really going to be extended fights, no matter how you look at it. And I just think the Ocean Soul would come in really handy for whatever team gets their hands on it.
I definitely agree. I think all of our Drakes are pretty good predictions. The one I kind of don't want it to be is a Chemtech, but Cloud Soul would be good for them for any team too. I
unironically think Chemtech is actually good for both teams.
I was about to say because if you think about it, like as these fights extend out and their health bars get lower, they just are going to deal more damage.
Aatrox loves it, Aurelia loves it, Zac loves it, Poppy does a lot with it. Like, both of these bot lanes don't care, obviously, about Chemtech Soul, but I think this top side, with the exception of Syndra, actually do like Chemtech, because it just makes them so tanky. And they do, and Aatrox and Aurelia do so much damage with Chemtech Soul below half HP, and they never die when they're like that. So
I was thinking more in the 5v5, but I'm going to cut you off because we got a minute till spec delay, so we're going to go ahead and cut to a break, and when we come back, it'll be game one between these two teams. We'll see you on the other side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rift. Unstoppable KEKW'd versus who would we playing? The Mind Goblins. Wow, I actually had a brain.
We're in here.
Like a brain fart
KEKW
right there.
and Poggaroo'd the fourth, mind you.
K and P4.
K
Never
and P4 versus the Mind Goblins.
Never saying that name fully in its
I
completion.
always will.
Nope. I refuse.
As we as established, I am part of the DGen Hours crew, so
Yes, correct.
we are also got a war drop down on the red side of the map to kind of track where this Poppy is going to go. As expected, Sivir has the shop open.
We're getting caught with we're getting caught shopping.
Yep, sometimes you just
That's a
gotta get
first
caught
blood.
shopping. Flashes, I honestly just wouldn't even bother flashing right there, personally.
No, you have to flash.
You know,
Because if you flash, you at least trade flashes and die, which is you can at least punish that. But if you don't die, then it's just your flash gone. And early on, you're like 80 flash when you're. I mean, if Zaya had flashed, that would matter a lot more than if Sivir has to flash in this instance. Because flash against Poppy doesn't matter too much, especially when you have a spell shield to.
Whoa. Okay, Sivir, I can understand not going cleanse, but why the hell did Zaya not go cleanse?
Oh, she should have gone cleanse in this game.
Well,
I do also think that Sivir should have gone cleanse.
We have learned...
I mean, I can argue that she has an air quote like anti-CC built into her kit, which is only one form of CC, mind you, and they have a bunch of CC on their team. But Zaya's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 champs that could CC her.
I mean, most of that isn't
and she has no flash.
Oh, that's not
fine.
When they hit 2, she dies. I think with the second.
He started W.
Yeah.
Supposed to start Q on Sivir.
So,
but she was chunked so hard, she probably just started W so that she can get the farm. You know what I mean?
I mean, Q is easier to clear with no items. The thing with Ricochet level 1 is it doesn't actually do a lot of damage.
Ooh, what a flash coming out from the Leona, but a nice follow-up by Rakan to make sure they don't get any more damage from that.
I understand the play there. I mean, you're trying to abuse the fact that she doesn't have flash for the next, like, 3.5 minutes. To kind of like force an advantage into your lane, but unfortunately, I do think it was a little premature to go for that play, especially with Rakan kind of like he's been hugging her since that whole little play happened earlier. It looks like she's gonna go ahead and roam this Leona, get some vision on the map. Zach is bot side and kind of expecting. Oh, hello, good scatter onto the.
She does have.
She's ganking. Hold on.
Hex flash, so keep your eyes on the Leona right there. She is in lane, gets the stun, but Cyclone just using that Q to jump back over to her to get back to the end of the wave, or into the lane, shall I say.
I actually do like that Vextrax went for that flash play, because you do have Hex Flash on this Leona, and I think what he was trying to do is he's either trying to get Rakan Flash there, or get Sivir heal, and if Sivir has no summoners, it's a lot easier to kill her. And also without Rakan Flash, you can actually make plays, and with Hex Flash, it doesn't really matter if you don't have Flash or not. The big thing for me though is Sivir went Cull first, and then having to blow Flash, lose lane prio, and now down 10 CS already. That Cull loses a lot of its value. And with respect to that W start, I do think Q start is almost always better, especially if you're behind in lane, because you don't have to walk up to auto the wave to last hit. You can just Q from way further away, and then you're not in flash range of Leona to potentially get abused on that cooldown for another 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, look at this top CS gap right now at the moment. It is 15 CS, and it's probably only going to grow as the game goes on. Yeah, bot lane's getting out of control too, so KEKW and Poggaroo'd already at a 700 gold lead with no kills, mind you, but it's all entirely from CS. Let's actually tick over to the gold for a second. So we have 400 gold on, that's about 300 now. 300 gold in the bot lane.
Yeah, she's catching wave right now.
Okay, so it's good. It's going to drop a little bit, and then we have 300 in the top lane as well. That's going to keep going, and also, so a really solid advantage, like early game start, I would say.
Why is Slippery playing so like I'm like scared of Aatrox right now.
He has to. Aatrox wins 1v1 early, especially with the Q,
What
but
a
3v1 in
nice
mid lane.
stun, but the rest of his team is there to follow up. A scout of the week followed by that Leona stun. Forced to flash out. Here
Nice
comes the
W.
grand entrance. Best support NA is here for the follow-up. Here comes Zach. I'll see you in Valhalla, boys. Ignite ticking down on Kentology, but I don't know if he's going to be taken out. He does not.
Nice
Two-man stun. They get a first blood onto the Zach, and Aurelia's just going absolutely bananas.
Well.
The Zach is going to be able to get that KS, but he gets one.
Oh, no.
And meanwhile, Slippery gets a solo kill in the top lane.
Right as I said, the early game was
in control of the game, but guess what? Who doesn't care? Mind Goblins.
That's why I said, like, I mean, right as I said that the early game was not looking good for them and it was kind of Jover for them, they immediately come through with 4 kills. Yeah, they definitely heard me talking smack, and they were like, nah, watch this. And they flipped the gold lead entirely. Now they're up over 1,000, almost 2,000 gold, actually. And
that was
flipped on its head.
Dang.
I'm really curious as to how Slippery actually ended up winning that 1v1. I think potentially Holy Spartan tanked too much trying to hold the wave because he was building a freeze just behind River, so he might have died because he was tanking minions for too long. Because he did have the advantage in lane for quite long, and Aatrox does have the early damage advantage over Volibear.
I think so. That might have been what happened. Also, hello everyone from Mirage Alliance for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. We are currently in game 1 of our best of 5 between Mind Goblins and KEKW'd and Poggaroo'd the 4th. So, welcome to the party. We just had a pretty nutty mid lane exchange that just happened, and it was pretty cool. And we are now 6 minutes in. They are up almost 2,000 gold, and just kind of feeling the momentum shift towards Mind Goblins. Yeah. I was gonna say that's something I pointed out earlier, but I forgot to say it. Like, it's purely to kind of, it's for the 1v1. It's not really for anything. It's not.
That's gonna hurt them later.
It definitely is. Like that lack of TP. Now they've double TP on their side. Oh, what's going on here? Looks like they were forced off the dragon.
Out of the week onto Cyclone right there. Probably able to
fight this.
They're just gonna jump on a Cyclone. The rest of our team trying to get their
I don't know if they can.
Entrance by best support. But it's not
Yeah.
going to do much just to dissuade them. But it looks like KMP4 are still going to be chasing them down. It is a 4v3. Zach manages to get out of that one. He doesn't hit the scout of the week. They find Kosher.
Yep.
Kosher is good, if you guys didn't know.
Aurelia went in early. That's kind of why that play went the way it did. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I'm really surprised they went for that turn. I think you just give Drake there, keep your lead, and it's fine that they get first Drake. It's just an individual Chemtech, which is one of the worst individual Drakes in the game. You have the gold lead, you have the lead on pressure, especially with the jungle, the lead that was in the jungle, but now gold lead is completely evened up. They started dragon stacking, and this bot lane is already starting to spiral a little bit out of control. And meanwhile, top lane.
Oh no, this is close.
I mean, Slippery
flash.
goes to the top road for the flash
flash?
by Holy Spar and a little. I don't know about that flash though.
He was already in auto range, and he just flashed within auto range.
Also,
auto range.
what was that healing?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's Volibear W. He already had the stack on him, so when you W someone with the stack, you get like a massive chunk of healing.
Good lord, that's a lot of healing. And this dude also is rushing. Looks like Thornmail first, which I kind of respected.
He's
got a Kindle gem, so it's just a bramble. Yeah.
Get his mythic.
The one saving grace in this top lane, though, for Holy Spartan at least, is that he is still up nearly 30 CS, despite the 1 kill deficit, so he is still up in gold. Albeit not that much.
Yeah, and definitely. And it looks like, in terms of where we are in terms of builds, Relia is going towards that orc that she will build first. There's a meme that for whatever reason when she gets Vamp Scepter and most of it she's full build. I mean, it's just for whatever reason when she gets to that point she just starts doing a lot of damage for no reason. So that's kind of the meme behind it. Looks like they're gonna try to engage on the bot lane. Not the case.
That's a dangerous spell shield.
Yeah, it is. So this could keep going because Leona could flash onto her. Oh, she hit 6 first.
If Leona hits 6, which I think she does at the very end of next wave.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. The XP timing was fine because if Sivir spell shielded that E, they could have instantly followed up with a solar flare because she doesn't have cleanse. Obviously, she can get 100 0 CC'd, but almost a good grand entrance there from Rakan.
Oh, that was close.
It was really close, like right at her.
Oh, they're going for this.
Leona goes back in. Okay.
I mean, they could have fought that, but Zaya's a bit watching the minions, shall we say?
Nice. I'm kind of also gonna like briefly like touch on the jungle matchup right now at the moment.
Yes.
So Zach did end up getting the rift
There
on
we
the
go.
top
Nice.
side. Okay, now remember, I'll hold that thought. Poppy is here, probably for the cover under the assumption that Zach is.
Oh, Vexarax with a nice flash in response by Kosher. The Grand Answer is going to knock Vexarax up. And the Solar Flare doesn't hit anybody, but a massive ultimate coming back
Poppy dies.
from Arcadius. And Gran Torino unfortunately falls in the end by Silver Knights. Meanwhile, in the top lane, top laners being top laners. What was that Solar Flare?
It was. Yeah, the Solar Flare was on top of themselves on Rakan. I think they didn't quite time the Rakan cooldown correctly because they assumed he would stay there after the Grand Entrance, but he's back to Sivir after the flash, and then it just hits nobody except for the like residual AoE slow. Yeah, they also pulled the trigger on that dive a little bit too early without full info because they didn't know where Zach was. Pulled the trigger on the dive, he ends up being there. They trade 2 for 2. Thankfully, though, Arcadius gets both of the kills for them. Is still up CS, so you get something out of it. But not exactly how you would have wanted that dive to go if you're KMP4.
No, yeah, definitely. So kind of unlucky, and now the Goldie is back to 1,000 in the favor of Mind Goblins. So I would say that they're feeling pretty good about how that play went, even though, you know, it ended up being a 2-kill for the Zaya. Never mind, she's ghosting at her. She wins this. Yeah, Leona's there too.
Yeah, Vexarax is here. It's kind of choked.
Even if he wasn't there, he dies.
Yeah, he just loses it. No flash on him, and the heal's not going to get you out of the situation. No ult as well, so you're kind of just dunzo. But this next Drake and the next... Oh, wait, hold on.
Nice.
Yeah, Grand Entry coming out and a really nice stun by the Aurelia. The ultimate comes out too, but that Scatter the Weak does enough to stop their pursuit.
Is Zach gonna hold this?
I think so, but Leona is in the area. They also have Ocean Drake coming up in 23 seconds, so they're trying to gain as much priority as they can. Lamau, and how's it? I couldn't even blame you because I lost my trail of thought like mid-sentence because I was thinking about something else as well. Haha, ADHD problems. But it looks like we're getting some resets on the map. Syndra is resetting. The Bork is now done for the Aurelia, so Aurelia is full build. And looks like we might be getting some more items coming across, I would assume. No? Okay, so we got
Leona's channeling that Hex Flash, but
I saw it was warded.
They do see it. Sivir's gonna go ahead and pop the ultimate. They're looking for an engage. That Grand Entrance is gonna land. Silver Knights goes a little bit too far, but manages to find both Arcadius and Vexarax. Solar Flare only slows them up. Doesn't get any stuns, but Kosher still right into melee range, still going at it. Arcadius
the storm back out.
Grand Trio has joined the fight. Nobody can leave him. And the flash from the Zach. And both sides managed to get out of that one.
That was close. I know they just wanted to make this place so they could drop the Heralds. That's what the call there was.
We didn't drop it.
Oh, they do back off. They do give that River Prio.
Yeah, they do.
He should have dropped it before he based. So now the Herald play is going to be a little bit awkward with the Drake spawning. Syndra nearly going to get caught out as well. Meanwhile, top lane.
Like they're just
top lane.
Volibear getting railed.
Jalapeno wins this. He should just
not anymore.
No, he's too low. World Ender is.
He does have
up
though.
Well. He's going for it.
Yeah, he is. Spartan is going to go for it. The flash 2-3 is going to land, but a really nice chunk of shielding. The chains aren't going to hit, and the ult over the top of the wall, but he is going to dash forward. A really nice healing. He manages to dodge the Q2, but gets hit by the Q3, slowed up by the Iron Spike Whip. He gets a nice chunk of healing, takes a tower shot. We're going to go right down to the bot lane. Here comes Zach. He's going to barrel right on in. He finds Vexarax, doesn't find the kill just yet.
Oh he lived.
Too early, finds the root onto the jungler. The heal blown by Sivir keeps their jungler alive just in the nick of time, and they do drop the Herald. They are going to get this charge off, and Cyclone just doing a really good job of zoning at this point.
We're just fighting all over the map.
Misplayed there.
Yeah. I'll let you talk about that first, and then I'll kind of go over like what happened for everyone else.
Sivir could have gotten a kill there onto either Gran Torino or Vexarax, but he kind of just stood still and autoed in the middle of the river and popped his spell shield on the Leona E. And on the chase as well, the Featherstorm used very prematurely, especially since Silver Knights has his ultimate available. They could have easily punished that, but they do both get out there, which I think both of them probably should have died and gotten a kill. But despite that, both live, no one dies, and Drake ends up going over to PF Mind Goblins, which is not who I thought would get it after that earlier sequence in bot lane. And they do still end up getting the Herald play off, despite it being a little bit of an awkward timing.
Yeah, it was a little weird. And then in the top lane, we had a little bit of awkwardness happening. I do
Yeah,
think
he
Holy
ulted after
Spartan.
he comboed.
I was gonna say Holy Spartan could have got the kill if he had ulted before. Oh, goodness
Yeah.
gracious, good scattered. So, unfortunately, because I was watching the bot lane fight, because my camera turned as you guys were watching the top lane fight, and that's why I called out that there was a fight in the bot lane. But it's just kind of, I won't say unfortunate on all sides, but it's just kind of unlucky because a bunch of gold just kind of just didn't go to anywhere after the grand scheme of all that. And now we have an Inferno Rift on the map, and we're just kind of chilling from here.
Oh,
okay,
who called Inferno?
I did.
We'll get back to that right now because the exhaust is going to come down on a cyclone.
Oh, the exhaust saved her.
Just well enough to not get the kill. Gran Torino uses the minion to close the gap, and he finds the kill onto the Aurelia.
Yep, that's why you take exhaust in the 1v1 right there. So she gets the kill 100% if she's not exhausted. So, good for the 1v1. Good for the 1v1, but it's going to be bad for the team fights later in the game.
Yep. And not even team fights, just lane assignments, right? Syndra will always have to play on side of objective, so if Aatrox doesn't have TP, it makes it a little awkward for them. Because depending on TP situation for PF Mind Goblins, they can easily find themselves a 5v4 if played correctly. And especially with a team like this, numbers advantage is everything for them. So I think that's going to really... Syndra's going to have to do a lot to try and be first to the fights, and that could spell losing some side lane towers as a result of that. But we'll see if it ends up happening or not, and if they decide to punish the fact that Syndra will never have TP, so they always at least have even or TP advantage in the mid lane. Another big thing that's gone up right now is Arcadius is very fed. 3-0-2 forward gold shutdown, and also 30 CS up on this Sivir. It's now only a 600 gold lead though, which is almost entirely due to those plates gotten in the bot lane.
Absolutely.
I mean, PF Mind Goblins claiming the second Herald right there as well. Probably going to try to funnel some gold into the mid laner, if I had to guess.
I would think so.
I mean you just need to use it to break mid tier 1.
And you could use it as pressure for the next Drake anyways. That's typically what happens is they'll save it for the next Drake. In this case, it'll be third Drake. It won't be soul point for either team. So there's a little bit of leeway you can give by giving up this first Drake to whichever side. Whoever gets it
Holy
first.
Spartan going a little aggressive right there.
That Bramblevest is doing work.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see how much healing he's
too,
reduced so
I just
far.
realized.
So right now only 200 healing has been reduced so far, but he's had that Bramblevest for a while now, if I remember correctly. It's
that was his second item.
Okay, and it looks like we got a nice little rundown happening here topside. Okay, never mind. They're gonna.
Yeah, it's probably spotted out on 2 wards, one control ward by the Krugs, and then another one in Tribrush. Leona also up here spotted on a ward, and Rakan here to match, so it would be a 2v3 dive. Now Rakan is spotted here.
They're actually gonna make this. Wait,
Slippery finds the stun, but I think the fact that Rakan is
here... They lose mid for this play.
Saves this dive. There are 4 people here. Cyclone taking that bot tower, but it looks like 2v1 on a Cantology. Cantology blocks the ultimate, finds the Sivir, but they still find the tower with that Herald charge, and they are going to trade for the top tier 1.
And
to trade for the... they end up trading it's a negative trade for KMP4. They lose mid tower. Luckily, Kosher killed himself there a little bit by not autoing Tenno, getting flash ulted, and then ends up dying. But they do get 2 towers. Lose 1 kill, lose 1 tower, so even gold trade. But since they have the bot side of the map controlled for this Drake in a minute's time, they'll be able to easily set up vision now that this mid tier 1 has finally gone down.
Yeah, definitely very interesting call there. I mean, I think maybe the idea from Kosher was just get this tower down as fast as we can, and then we make the play. But I mean, Syndra would have killed her either way, regardless if the tower was there taken down early or not.
But if Kosher just presses like
one Q
or right clicks her, she dies before he gets ulted. Rather than just like hitting the tower, but it's whatever.
It is what it is. They ended up doing what they need to do. They still have almost 1,500 gold lead. They're in prime check for this Drake right now at the moment as they're getting vision down on the river. No red wards on this side of the map whatsoever. It is completely dark. Okay, so there's the one. Okay, and now it's gone.
There's the one in the mid lane brush there as well.
And I just toggled my vision, and like it's completely dark.
Going?
Wait a minute, what is this?
Oh, Kosher a little out of position right there. Rest of the team not even close. Gonna pop the ultimate. They are looking to start a fight right here, but the Keeper's Verdict is gonna get that volley bear right out of the fight.
Oh, I don't
Not
like
the target they were looking for, but the target they found nonetheless.
I would argue that was kind of early.
March their way back into the mid lane. It looks like Silver Knight says, I see a target and I'm going on it. bouncy, bouncy boy. They find the mid laner. Their
Okay.
mid laner is down. And the fight in the mid lane in the river is just breaking out. The Feather Storm
Okay.
is going to buy a little bit of space, and that play caller is massive, finding two
Not enough
massive
damage.
tanks, but it does not matter because PF Mind Goblins find 2 kills, and the Grand Entrance finds the ADC. Arcadia is just trying to lay down as much damage as they can. They flash out of the way, but here comes
Nice
Zach.
idea.
Zach stopped in his tracks, finds the shutdown nonetheless, and it looks
Nice.
like it is going to be a clean ace coming out of the side
Line.
from PF Mind Goblins.
Ooh.
Not a clean ace, unlucky, but they make the call to go for Baron because best support did
They
die.
should just get mid tower.
They are not going for the Baron,
Cyclone
actually.
is just going to take mid tower. They're going to go right.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
I
nutty
don't
fight.
like this Baron call, actually.
I don't
They are
either.
kind
It's way too early, I feel.
And I don't think they have the items yet. Sivir only barely has an item and a half.
This gold lead is very fake because they're all sitting on 1,000 to 2,000
Yeah,
gold
we
right
have
now.
Leona coming, we have Syndra, we
Oh,
have Poppy,
no,
we have
they
might
Ace.
throw
And
here.
their
This call,
health
it's really
bars are
bad.
very low, and they have not spent their gold.
We're
And
gonna
it looks
go
like
here.
next round
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Off the map instantly with that scab of the week. Gran Torino is going to flash over into the Baron pit. Keep your eyes on the Baron because it looks like Zach finds the smite. Super's going to jump onto Kentology
Doesn't
and they get a
matter.
shutdown onto the Aurelia. And we have 2 members still alive for the side of PF Mind Goblins.
That
And
was
it
so
is
bad.
not going to matter because Zach's going to fall in the river and his little bubblers are going to fall right at him.
Okay. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's definitely one of those instances where they should have waited. That's a lot of gold they just gave over to Aatrox there.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
They should have never gone to Baron.
That's
Great,
such a
yes,
bad
they would've
call.
been gold.
It's just
Yeah.
it wasn't time. They're not scaled in enough to have done that. Like now Sivir has 2 items, so that's probably when then like have another fight like they just did
Had 2
and
items
then
to
go.
to Baron fight if she would have ate.
It's
I mean, if-
not. It's less so that it's just they didn't respect the death timers and the fact that Aatrox still had TP. I think that they thought they had more time than they had, which is why I said they should have gone mid tower, which they did end up getting, and then they should have pushed that into bot pressure base, take their gold, go for Drake as well, because I don't think they had the time to go Baron, which they ended up not having time for. They did thankfully secure it for themselves, and they still have 2 Barons on the map, one on Rakan and one on Volibear, but that's a huge misstep, and what could have been a 5,000 or 6,000 gold lead now shrinks to what is currently a 2,000 gold lead.
And it could have been a lot worse if
Yeah.
Gran Torino stole the Baron. That
Yeah.
would have
Oh,
probably
yes.
signaled
Yeah.
the end of this game without a doubt. Because I do hardly believe that Mind Goblins are not like completely in control, but they're in pretty good control
Yeah.
of the game right now. They're ahead in items, quote unquote. And like they're ahead in sort of momentum, I will say. I mean, they lost it a little bit with that Baron call and losing that last Drake as
They're
well.
up in towers by
Yeah.
quite considerably.
That's pretty much the only thing they've kind of got going for them right now. So
Yeah.
they're still in a pretty good position, I would say. It's just they get I think this is kind of like what we saw from last week. It's just questionable macro decisions, but it's like if they can clean those up, I do think that Mind Goblins
Yeah.
will very much take this game if they just kind of hold back a little bit, make more common collective plays. Volibear is about to get 3-manned in
He
just
should
a
be
second.
okay.
He has all the vision. He sees it coming.
He's okay, yeah. They should really play for this bot tower. It looks like it really has the right idea pinged on the way to get this tower. They should be able to get this super easily if they have any support down here. I do think they're spreading themselves a bit thin with this Baron.
I don't think a 1v1 here is a good idea.
I think they can. It's just the fact that mid tier 2 is down. They kind of can't do anything mid lane, so it's really a 1-0-1 in terms of pressure. So they can't kind of do anything. So they kind of have to overload one side, take that tower, and then push mid into the other side lane. So I think they should overload bot and then take that into either a bot inhib or then transition that into mid pressure, then go top, take top tier 2. But because off that Baron, they end up getting no towers.
Yeah,
Because I don't think any of these are going to go down, although they are finally pressuring for this bot tower after quite a few pings have come down from Aurelia.
Yeah, and right now, the Baron has fallen off, so
Yeah, they
don't have it
with it.
anymore. I mean, they're still going to get this tower most likely. I mean, the threat of Zac being over the wall is still kind of a big deal, so they should just take this exit. Not like they'll have a lot of gold anyways. Okay, Volibear has almost 2k, so
He has
kinda
quite
just
a lot on
they should go
inventory,
back, spend their gold, kind of come back on the map, reset, kind of like gather themselves for the next objective, which will be this Drake in the next 2 minutes. Actually, Drake and Baron will be up about 10 seconds apart from each other, so this could be a spicy next 2.5 minutes coming up.
They should probably Drake over the Baron, honestly.
For Soul Point, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
just-
know. I think they can
it
just like
depends.
trade it. 'Cause it
I
doesn't
don't
really
thi-
matter.
I don't think you want to trade Infernal Soul Point though. Like, yeah, they're ahead, but it's a little deceptive. It's because like they like to hold on to their gold especially this Sivir. So Jalapeno it makes the gold lead a lot more deceptive than it is. So in reality, he's holding on to almost like the top laner holding on to both 4K gold. That is the gold lead right now. So like, if they just go back and sell it, then the numbers will speak for themselves.
Yeah, in gold they're even. The gold lead is entirely in mid and jungle right now for PF. Everyone else is relatively even in terms of gold. I do think that the reason why I think they can trade Baron for Drake's Soul Point is because it's not Dragon Soul, and given the map state, they can very easily get an inhibitor off of it. They can just push through top 4-1 top to mid, and then they can take about at least an inhibitor and an inhibitor tower, if not both inhibs, if they have the correct pressure for it. And then them getting Dragon Soul Point doesn't really do anything for them. However, given the timers on spawning and there's about like a 15 or 12 second delay between the two of them, you kind of have to fight for the Drake because it is the one spawning first.
Yeah. I kind of hoping from here that Mind Goblins like set the waves to like for themselves for a push. So that way they can start clearing out some of this vision that they have. There is that one pink ward that is in the bush by red buff on bot side, and then the rest of it's kind of just lit up blue.
Like this.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Slippery finds Arcadius, but Vexarax is here over the top of the wall.
There's
He's
4
gonna use
people
that
here.
blast clone,
Yes,
and we have more than one member of KEKW'd.
I can't move. Oh my
I
god.
like that a lot.
The
It's a
chain
great play.
CC is real. Sit down, Bear. You're going nowhere.
Go Drake.
I'm watching back on the
they're
stream,
late
and
now.
my mans couldn't move for that whole 5 seconds. It was like 5 seconds of CC that he could not move. Now the only bright side is he does have teleport, but it's still 30 seconds away before he's up. So whether or not they can stall long enough for this,
well, they have pressure. They have first move in a river because they spent too long in that topside river just collecting fruits and like canceling recalls. So now,
oh, Sivir finds her ultimate. TP coming back from Aatrox, gonna make this a 5v4. Nice scatter. The weak finds 3 members, and that Rakan is getting very low, but the swiftness
oh
is
my
gonna
god,
a lot of people
Aurelia.
and a lot of low health bars, and it looks like PF Mind Goblins are in control of this fight. Holy Spartan, the world ender, I am sorry, your world is ended.
Wow, that is insane. They should just do this and then go do Baron. Actually, I don't know. 24 seconds on the poppy.
The Baron's a bit of a overextension, I feel, with their tempo.
Yeah, that's why I took it back. I'm like, I don't think so.
They have no wave prime. If they lose this fight, they lose at least 2 towers.
Yeah, so here goes
I
nothing.
think they have enough time though. It's really close.
I mean, they have no more TP because Aatrox used his TP to get
if Aurelia wasn't the one dead right now, I would feel more comfortable about this, but they should have enough time to do this.
Yeah, they do. They're good.
Poppy
Aurelia
is up, and look at that mini-map. We have more than one red member just looking it over to the Baron. The Baron is now at 2,000, and they do claim it. KMP4 not able to get there just in time.
Okay,
We're not backing together, but it doesn't matter.
All right, so that's kind of more along the lines of what I was thinking would happen, especially in that last little fight. Was that they would win a fight at Dragon, do Drake, but I mean, death timers weren't as long. But that's kind of closer to what I was thinking would happen. That worked out a lot better. This dude on Silver Knights on Zac is playing out of his mind. 9-1 right now. 4 items actually. That Athamas Chains might be on Xayah, I would assume. Yep, it is on her.
Yeah, it should be.
So Athamas Chains on the Xayah, and this dude's pulling off
a red pot.
Gauges. Kosher bought a red pot?
Oh. He did buy red pot. I'm not sure if I like that. Now, buying pots not at full build is fine if the next fight ends the game. I don't think it's the case for this one though. If they win a fight potentially, but they really need to use this Baron properly, and I think they need to. Yeah, he's just canceling the base with Q. They really need to use this Baron properly and get this top lane tier 2.
Yeah, and they're not really going to be able to open up the base.
They have a stacking wave in top. They should go top with this, and at least have like Volleyburst stay mid just to keep the lane pushed. But
looks like they're preparing for it, unless okay, good spell shield. Yeah, the wave clear is pretty good on the side of KMP.
Okay, they are going top. Thank you.
Nice. So that top wave will stack. They should get the top tier 2 here. Open up that gold lead a little bit more.
They have how many cat? Yeah, that top tier 2 is falling.
Yeah. It's dead.
I don't think they're gonna.
You hear that noise? The pot's been popped for the side of the Sivir. Man, that's.
I don't think they're gonna break the base here. The wave clear is pretty good.
Probably could. They have
maybe one tower.
They need
two
mid-wave.
cannons.
Someone needs to go get mid-wave.
Yeah. Objective Bunny is also activating it for the side of KNP.
They're really misplaying this.
This is kind of tense. I'm not gonna lie. Even though like my goblins are like in complete control, it seems like they don't. I don't want to say like they don't know what to do, but it seems like they're kind of disjointed a little bit.
They're about 3 seconds behind. Yeah, they're hesitating a little too much on these plays, and they're like over rotating slightly. Like I said, they should have left Volibear mid just to keep the wave pushed and go top for the tier 2. But instead, they go 5-man top. They get the tier 2, obviously, but then they don't have the wave for mid lane. So now they're kind of stuck like this. But then now they've set up correctly with a 4-1. I think Volibear can kind of shadow between lanes right now. It's just hard to push against Xayah.
He's dead.
Kosher, a massive shutdown.
Xayah might die
in the hands of that Syndra. Gran Torino's going to dive right on in. But Silver Knights, the bouncing ball of death. Jumping on the ADC right there, and it looks like Gran Torino has the rest of the team in full retreat.
Gotta respect that Syndra damage. She has 2 items with the pen boots, and let's see how many stacks of her passive she has. 137, and she's level 15, meaning she has that pretty much guaranteed execute on her ultimate. Gotta respect that, especially as a Sivir. If your spell shield's down, you are just 100% dead. There's just no way you're living through that, especially as an AD carry. It's just Jover.
I think he spell shielded the blade collar, I think.
I don't understand why he's spell shielding the blade collar.
Well, he can get chain CC'd if he doesn't spell shield it. That's the problem with Sivir
not having cleanse.
Well, it's not even that. Even if he has cleanse, he's dead there. But like it's just Sivir is so short range against this comp. It's so hard to play. So you kind of need to like the only way you win fights is how they have been winning fights, where you just throw yourselves at them, and then Sivir actually has the space to fight because she's not the one getting hit. But since you're outranged by Xayah, you're outranged by Syndra, you're sort of outranged by Leona as well with the CC that she has. You kind of just have to wait for your... She was just standing too far forward and ends up getting caught by a stray blade caller. And even if she had cleanser, she still dies. So, but yeah, it's just a matter of playing Sivir in this game. It's just very difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah, the Drake up in 15. Looks like we're just getting some resets.
Oh, I'm dumb. I thought Blade Caller was Zenith Blade for some reason. That's why I questioned it. I was like, why you like spell shielding Blade Caller? Like I've been watching her do that all game, but I thought I was saying Zenith Blade.
They're giving this up. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So they're not gonna go for it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. So Soul Point goes over to Mind Goblin, so third Drake does go to them.
Where are they going?
Where are they going? They don't have a wave top, so I'm not sure what they're doing.
That's what they want.
Oh.
They want top vision. It makes sense. That someone needs to get top wave. Xayah should be able to get it. They just need to not get caught while she's pushing this wave.
Ooh.
Ooh, they are pinging everything. They're like, hold up now, we're not doing this, lads. All right, so they will back off from here. Now,
after the stop wave.
Yeah, next objective is going to be Baron, so we're kind of just going to be waiting a little bit.
Spacing?
Well, yeah.
Does she have item? Yeah, she does. There's a little bit of a risky recall. All it takes is a Zaki over the wall, but he ends up going to first camps anyway, so it's fine. Does have Runeans, actually.
Interesting. I was going to ask if you like that. The item to go here.
I hate that.
Really?
Now, here's the thing. Runeans is good in this game for some ADCs because it's basically 5 melee champs. I was talking about how short range Sivir is before, like 3 seconds ago, and then they have 4 melee champions on top of that. So, yes, it does a lot. I just think she needs more damage. Because they're really lacking damage. So I think it's a BT angle or like a shield bow or something.
I kind of thought with the Zeal that she was gonna end up going Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, PD's better than Runeans here. I understand it though. Like I said, they're all melees, so Runeans does have a decent amount of value in this game. It just doesn't give you a whole lot of damage. Yeah, it doesn't give you any AD. So this Zac will be taking actually no damage. So it's kind of rough.
Yeah, and it's just oh my lord.
He's dead. All by herself. The Q is gonna land, but here comes the rest of KNP to just
really squeaking.
Is that a double TP?
Double TP on that ward, yeah.
Oh, Cyclone actually TPs into the river and is gonna 1v1 Gran Torino, but a really nice dive into the backline, forcing that ultimate out of Arcadius, and he's just gonna be the bouncing ball of death, and he's gonna get jumped on by 4 members. Meanwhile, they're in the mid lane. It looks like Holy Spartan finds the ADC. The Grand Entrance saves the Sivir's life in a really massive shielding coming out, and the Swiftness gets the charm, and they take the top lane around.
Okay, jungler's down on the other side.
And they just killed Zac.
it is a little bit of a desync in the timers, so potentially opens up something, but a lot of flashes were burned, a lot of ultimates were also burned.
Oh,
So,
wait. KMP4 can get Baron here, no?
I don't
yeah,
think
they
so. Their
could.
Aatrox is down, which is like their main.
They have so much damage for it. I think they should just like start it and then just because they have no TPs. So as soon as Volibear bases or anyone bases, they can just like take Baron. Although top wave is like super scary, but again, no TPs.
That tower's getting low. The icon's just kind of dropped in like how much health it has. But the tower,
Yeah, there's like
fall.
a 4 stacked wave on it.
They're gonna do it themselves.
Come on, minions!
They know they have to
let's
reset.
go, minions! And my goblins just
they
take
don't
that
know.
opportunity to.
They should
they
know.
know?
There's a ward. There's a ward right next to the pit, so they should know. It's just kind of one of
Oh,
those...
they don't see it anymore. Oh, yes, they do. That one ward not getting blocked by that pink ward.
So they just had to have known that, like, with that minion wave at the top tower, like, that they had their reset. So they're just like, make the call, like, let's go, let's do it right now. And honestly, that's a good call.
I mean, with
I'm
Arcadia's
surprised.
forced to grab that wave, I mean,
Why didn't they?
if you had any window, that was the window.
I hear Darter contemplating.
Yeah, they could have just had. Well, Aatrox was on respawn, so he could have cleared the top wave, and then they start Baron.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. I mean, just heads up calling, and the one thing we were complaining about last week, and I do say complaining, is questionable macro decisions.
Yes, I was.
Oh yeah, last week was definitely a show. But the Grand Entrance and Witness Me both missed Gran Torino right there.
Okay, interesting. But it's just so. In that instance, I like the macro call from Mind Goblins there. They probably assumed that they were resetting for that top wave, so they just all bum rushed it, and by the point
how
that
far
they...
behind is Syndra? Yeah, she's 3k down.
3k down, yeah, I think.
Yeah, full item.
But anyways,
Oh, wow. Arcadia's Flame Horizon Sivir.
Yeah. It's been that way for a while, actually.
Really?
It's like the last like 5 minutes, he's been up like 100 CS.
I just noticed it right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
I mean, but yeah, it happens. It's just that's just the life of.
Well, again, it's so hard for Sivir to play, especially she has to play so respectfully because like if she steps up 1 millimeter too far, Spell Shield doesn't save her. So again, like Sivir is a bit like free to CS with. You just like W auto 1 minion, Q the wave, and it
I
dies.
think Slippery wins this, even though.
No, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Okay, he's gonna take this
For
fight
sure he
good,
wins
and
that,
the
yeah.
World Ender's gonna get popped, but his health
shields
bar
that,
is
man.
way too low right now. He's not hitting the sweet spots on those
Break us up in
Qs,
3.
and they do manage to get
Oh,
that.
Aurelia's doing
Top
really
good.
lane's
Cyclone's
tier
doing.
3, and Aurelia is just pushing for that inhibitor, takes the inhibitor down, and the rest
Should
of
be
the
GG.
team is right there in the Dragon Pit. Can we get a view of that? And it looks like it's going to be Vexirax and Arcadius. That Grand Entrance is not going to find the mark, and that
Okay.
Keeper's Burst
Zach
is
is
going to
still
tell
here, though.
Rakan to get out of there.
Steal it?
Here comes Slippery
Got it.
Knight. He gets the smite. He gets
That's
the
GG.
jungler, and Kosher is free to right click. They can't do anything. to
Cyclone's
stop
ending the
him.
game.
Gran Torino forced the flash
Oh, he's
over
dead
there.
now.
They do get the kill. They find one
Yeah.
Nexus turret, and it
Mighty's
looks like
dead.
Cantology is going to be the one to try to save this. A flash to
scatter.
stun, but they find the Scout of the Week
Whoa.
as well. A really good shielding, and here they come, Aurelia, and Bear sealed the deal, and that is game 1.
Okay. Wow. I mean, that was it was close for most of the game, and then that one fight that happened in the mid lane I think it was about like 17 to 22
Yeah.
minutes somewhere mid game. They just kind of just took control of the game. Now, yes, they did have that weird
Yeah.
little call that happened with the Baron, but it just very good like macro decision making from Mind Goblins on that one.
Mhm.
KEKW and Poggaroo'd kind of slower on the decision making there.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I need to clean up for game 2. And it's kind of like what I said is like these two teams in their last matchup that they played, it was 3 close games. So the fact that this series could potentially go close, I mean, I'm cool. I'm fine with that, y'all. I mean,
Yeah, I really like what Cyclone was doing there towards the end.
Mhm.
Just full pressuring bot, just forcing Syndra to match. It almost guarantees that the Drake fight is won because without Syndra, they have, even though she's down like a full item, she's down 4k at the end of the game. Even though she's down a full item, like without her there, half of your threat on the Sivir is gone, and then Arcadius is the only threat they have left onto Syndra because Holy Spartan and Gran Torino just don't have the access to her that you'd expect them to, just because it's Zac Rakan Volley. You're trying to too hard to peel your own AD carry to really be able to dive onto Sivir, which is why they ended up winning a lot of fights. And to be fair to Kosher, despite being down quite a lot and a few misplays, did have a lot of gold and still did nearly 30k damage. And Arcadius did 35,000 on the Xayah, was doing a lot. I think the biggest thing for both teams, like you said, is just questionable macro. I think they both made some macro mistakes. PF did play the map well in the last like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But up to that point, it was not the cleanest. So definitely some room for improvement there for both teams. But they did close it out pretty nicely, especially with the side lane pressure that Holy Spartan and Cyclone were able to put on.
Really good side pressure. I really don't have personally anything else. It was a very well done game.
Did we transition over to the post game breakdown?
I don't think so. Let's take a look at it.
Well, let's take a look for that post game breakdown. I mean, we could see you could see right there at about that 15-minute mark where PF Mind Goblins slipped up.
Yeah.
Very significantly. You know, the gold graph definitely dips down, and like Dardo was saying, they were kind of like they were playing like half a beat off.
Yeah, they're playing like 3 seconds behind. Like they had the right idea, they just didn't execute the play fast enough, if that makes sense, or like entirely correctly. Like they didn't play the map poorly. It was just not like optimally. Like in their Baron plays, they got stuff off of it, except for the first one, they didn't get anything off of that one. But the second one they played it better, and then the last one they played very well. So they just kind of like figured out their Barons as the game went on. I think they were trying to figure it out how to play their comp, because as much as they were ahead, like I said multiple times this game, it's really hard for Sivir to play in this game because she's outranged by like everything on the enemy team, obviously except for the melees, but Xayah, Syndra especially. If Sivir missteps slightly, she's one shot. So and those were the few times where the gold grab dips, is when Sivir missteps, gets one shot, and then the game is a little bit more even, although they do have map advantage. It's just so hard to play that champ into compositions like this, which is part of the reason why I didn't like it. But once they found the fights that they wanted and were able to dive in and peel for Sivir, she was able to do a lot of damage and do a lot of work in these fights.
But hey, that's game one. We could potentially be in for a quick night or a barn burner. But we'll be right back, everyone, for game two as we go ahead and gather our thoughts. So don't go anywhere.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen Esports Unstoppable Semifinals against KMP4 versus Mind Goblins. They
Well,
are
they
not going to
immediately
let me
started
get
draft.
my intro go right into draft. So take it away, fellas.
And the Aurelia bit, the first thing that we see, honestly, as
Yeah.
expected, she
Yeah.
did play extremely well, and when she got
Yep.
ahead, which is what we kind of expected. Once Aurelia gets ahead, she's kind of an unstoppable nightmare. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of what happens. The Jax band still being consistent with her Mind Goblins, which makes sense. I mean, that
Mhm.
champion is pretty, I won't say broke, but he's really strong,
Very
especially
strong,
if
yeah.
someone knows how to play him into his full effect. As we've seen in Worlds, like Bin on that champion is just gross. But
Yeah.
we're sticking with the Ash and Jarvan
Jarvan.
bands, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, Jarvan's so first pickable on blue side, it's kind of ridiculous, which makes sense why it's getting banned away on red side. So the Xayah ban also coming out from Mind Goblins, and Jinx is the pickup. Okay, she's not as broke as she was, but I want you to mention your thoughts on first picking Jinx.
Yeah. I think it's definitely still viable for certain teams. It obviously depends on what enemy bot lane likes to play and what your bot lane likes to play. I think it's almost entirely support dependent and a little bit jungle dependent. If your support is someone who plays like Thresh, Tom Kench, first pick Jinx is fine, especially if those champions aren't banned away. Also, if things like Jarvan are banned, Orianna and things like that are banned, then you can first pick it. But she's very susceptible to kill lanes, like Nautilus but I don't. Sivir is not a kill lane,
I
but
would not pick
kill
Sivir.
lane supports specifically like the Nautilus and Leona and things like that. And also especially Renata, I think is super good into Jinx. And there's TK. I think if you're going for like Kaisa Nautilus, Samira Nautilus is my personal pick against Jinx. I also think Ezreal does fairly well against her. Ziggs does a really good job if you're going to play like Ziggs Leona, for example. All of those things do really well into Jinx. So I don't think she's like super first pickable, but again, it depends on what the enemy ADC is willing to play. And if they are going to play things like Sivir, I think it's definitely more than viable, especially if your support, like I said, can play things like Tahm Kench or Thresh to keep her alive against Nautilus. And this is a flex top lane and support. I think it's one of the highest win rate top laners on the patch currently. I do think they should keep this flex alive and pick their jungler here. They can go for something like an Ivern since you're playing with Jinx, or you can just go classic engage layered CC like Wukong against Sivir, something like that. But we'll see what they end up going for.
Xin Zhao, actually, something that we mentioned, actually, Hyper mentioned it, I think, before the start of the day, is that KMP's jungler does play Xin Zhao, which, if you do it right, you can actually bait her spell shield before your full
Wind becomes
combo.
lightning, yeah.
With Wind becomes lightning, exactly. Because no matter what, it will still hit, and he can still follow that up with her.
Yep.
And
with EQ, yeah.
And one interaction that I saw, I think it was in the LPL, he smited first and then went for the full combo, which was pretty cool.
Smite WEQ, yeah.
Udyr is a flex pick, actually. I won't say not an answer to.
Yeah, it is. I'm not a huge fan of the Udyr. I think like it's good into Xin Zhao for sure. It's one of the few champs that can just run him down. However, with it being a flex pick, I think there's a lot of answers that KMP4 can go with here. It doesn't really solve the Jinx TK issue. Because all Jinx has to do is take Ghost in this situation. He doesn't have to worry about Nautilus, and Tahm Kench just kind of cleanses away the ult. So she can just take Ghost and cut you out. Especially with TK Zin's out, it's going to be a little bit hard for them to get onto where I would have liked something like a Wukong or Vi potentially, or a Mumu, something that has a lot more dive, or if you can play it, Lee Sin. Silas banned away makes a lot of sense. It's not a lot of sense, but a decent amount of sense. It depends what you're trying to blind on for. They can be banning Silas to try and be baiting a Syndra ban, which is what they do. Since it seems like Irelia is like the answer into Syndra. If they ban Silas, they don't have any more answers, so they kind of have to ban Syndra away.
One thing I've noticed is typically we'll see a lot of Silas bans right before they pick a Malphite. That's kind of interesting, but I don't know if
think it's good in this game.
I wouldn't think it's good in this game. But with that being said, I mean, still banning away the Silas, as there are some pretty decent ultimates on their side, especially with Nautilus. I was gonna say Orianna would be the next ban that I would ideally go for in this instance. After that, they're gonna stick with the Darius, so Orianna will be open if they don't flip over to it. So even if they pick Orianna, with whoever picks Orianna, Nico's still open, who's a really strong pick. We've seen Akali be picked too, but I wouldn't pick it into this comp. Maybe that's my assumption. Maybe they
didn't ban. Well, it was banned on PF banned the Orianna last time, and Cyclone is gonna go. I'm pretty sure Cyclone plays Orianna. At least he's played it with me before.
I believe
he's gonna go with the Azir Comfort, which was banned away from him last time.
Yeah,
and Nico is pretty good here for KNP4.
I would pick it here. I think that's probably the best
They
option.
could
they
also
can
go
for.
Orianna. Orianna Xin is very scary.
Oh yeah, but it looks like they're gonna go with the Xerath
Okay, yeah.
potentially. Yeah, heavy artillery from
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, and you just instantly have the range advantage all the time against Azir
They
because your
need like
champion's just
Ornn.
Ornn is open. You're right. They could pick Ornn
They
here.
need Ornn, I think. If they go Ornn, I like their comp a lot. If they don't, that's fine. I
Okay.
think they're really opening themselves up. Actually, it's not that bad because Gwen R5 isn't that strong for PF because the amount of magic damage they have.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem in Jax's band, but they
Okay.
are gonna go Ornn.
Ornn.
Okay, I do like the Ornn better
Yeah.
than
Those Ornn
K'Sante.
items coming in,
They
especially
can
with
get Camille'd, but I don't think it's that bad.
I don't know if Mind Goblin top laner plays Camille like that. I know they have
Yeah.
a few games on it, but I don't know if they play her like that. But
They can get Camille'd. It
it
might just
is
be a Volibear answer for them again. I think it's fine into Ornn.
it worked out really well last game. So I mean, if it works, I mean, I think you stick
It's
to
just
it.
so much AP. They need ADs, so like they really have like they should go Camille or Aatrox here. But I'm not 100% sure if they will. They're gonna go Gnar,
Gnar
yeah.
is
So
actually a
they don't play
decent
either of
answer.
those.
Okay, so yeah, no, I
Mhm.
actually like the Gnar pick. I mean, that's a range
Yeah.
advantage that gives it to that top side matchup. Gnar is also really not like strong, but really good engage when the Gnar bar is full. But before I ramble on too much, let's bring Hyper back in so we can kind of like go through this step by step of what we're seeing out of this comp.
Yeah.
All right, boys. All right. I gotta get this out of there. I called the Gnar pick.
Okay,
It's
that's fair.
like
I said it questionably because I was like, because as you guys were going through what he could play into that, like the champs you guys were saying yes, but I was like, but he
it's
plays a
like
lot of
not
Gnar. Like
really an Ornn
maybe a
answer.
Gnar would be okay here. It gives like frontline, conditional frontline at that. But you know, Gnar ultimate with the shove back, pretty nice wombo with Azir's ultimate as well. So like I could see the it's like it's like a meh. Like I get it, but
Yeah, it's
it's
a fine pick.
Yeah.
My issue with it is you don't like you're not the best way to play against a comp that KMP4 has is with split push.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because the way you want to beat like kite back front to back team fighting is with split push or and side lane pressure, and Nard doesn't really give you that. Like yes, you can play Hullbreaker Gnar in split push. You don't even have to build Hullbreaker. You can still have a decent amount of side lane pressure on Gnar, but Ornn doesn't have trouble matching you and matching TPs with you. Whereas if you go with something like the Camille, Fiora, Aatrox, depending on what you play, you have a much easier time pressuring on sides and actually like be a threat in side lane that makes them not be able to take 4v4s or just straight up 5v5s, which is what they want to do. So and PF My Goblins already kind of drafted themselves towards that sort of composition with Sivir and Azir, which is also why I don't really like the Udyr pick either,
Right.
just because it doesn't really fit that team fight style that they kind of have drafted with themselves, with especially the Gnar R5 just sort of telegraphs that they want to play for these team fights. But Udyr doesn't really team fight that well. He can play frontline and peel for Sivir, but when you're playing against like Xin Zhao, the value of that champion kind of drops a little bit.
Yeah, I'm 100% there with you.
I'm gonna cut you off real fast, Freak, because
okay.
whoa, Twitch chat, what is this? Look at our screen. We have a new setup. It's all three of our faces. The champs
It
are getting
is.
locked in. Wow.
Just wait till
It
the
is.
end of the draft.
The overlay finally works.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Chippy, shout out to Chippy for setting this up during game one.
Yes.
Probably the best producer I've ever worked with, just in general. But I want to circle back to the Xerath pick real fast. Yes, Kid
Yeah.
Technology is
On the
really good.
LCS.
It's a good answer into Azir.
He's really good on the champ. Yes, it's a great answer into the Azir, but I just don't know how I feel about it playing into the comp.
Oh, it's so easy.
As
It
is easy, and yeah, you guys are mid-range, DPS, but I feel like a Nico pick would have like fit their comp a little bit better.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Personally, I would have preferred to see Nico here just because you have Wind Becomes Lightning, you have TK's Abyssal Dive, you have the Call of the Forge God, everybody's going in, providing this wall so that nobody can get to Jinx, because the one person who has to get to them would either be Azir with the Shifting Sands or
Yeah.
Udyr, but they can't exactly
Yeah.
go forward with that problem. So if you go Nico and she pops the Pop Blossom, like it kind of rounds out that team fight.
My only issue with Nico is you lack damage if you go Nico.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Because
I see
you
that.
don't have a whole lot of magic damage already because yes, you have a TK, but if you're looking for that Ornn like I mentioned, you kind of have to go a high damage mage mid. And the best one available since Syndra is banned is either Orianna, or if you're not comfortable playing Orianna with this composition, which I do think was very good for them, they can go the Xerath answer, which
Yes.
is a better answer in lane, but less so for team fights. If you're looking for that team fight power, I do think Orianna is still a little bit better than Nico, just for damage as well. Just because I think Nico's a little bit too low damage, especially Nico into Azir is really hard in team fights because you can just get shuffled out of your ult and then you do nothing.
Yeah.
Ornn with Spellbook?
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
We did.
Is that normal? Okay.
Yeah. It's not
Oh
like
yeah, it's normal. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's not like his standard rune, but like yeah, Ornn takes spellbook a lot, so that's pretty fine.
I've seen Ornn smite Steel Barons before. It's pretty
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Oh, okay then.
But
I
the
stand
work on Gnar
corrected.
doesn't make sense. Conquer on both of them. That
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
Pretty standard right there. I like junglers taking
Striking
magic
lethal.
boots.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about first strike with the Xerath. I don't know how much value he's
You
gonna be able to
can't-
get out of it.
It's
just
more
because of
damage
the
late game.
Azir.
It's more damage. You can't really farm it in lane though, so like it loses a little bit of its value in lane, but again, it's more damage late games, and that's kind of what you
Okay.
need out of the Xerath. So it's fine as long as you don't get caught by a sand soldier randomly. You should be able to proc it pretty easily because you do outrange their whole comp. Again, I see a similar issue for Sivir this game that we had last game, even though that they won with it. She was outranged and had to play very specifically to be able to live. And the very similar issues in this game. She gets outranged by Jinx, outranged by Xerath. She does actually get outranged by Xin Zhao, but just because of that when becomes landing into E combo, it's longer than her auto attack range, or it's like very similar to her auto attack range. So she can't actually outrange Xin Zhao engage. And then so she's outranged by 3 of the members, and then also Tongue Lash from Tahm Kench outranges her auto range. So you can't space Tahm Kench. So it's very hard for Sivir to play this game. However, she does have a lot better peel this game than last game, and it's not like dive oriented peel. So this Udyr can just stand in front of her and be fine. But they do need to play fights a lot like they did at the end of the last game rather than what they were trying to do at the beginning.
Overall, I think pretty standard runes. We'll actually get to Drake Soul when we get into game, since currently we're about 50-something seconds away. But we'll go ahead and take a short break, friendos, and when we come back, Game 2. Can KEKW'd Poggaroo'd the 4th come back, or are we going to a 2-0 series in favor of Mind Goblins? Stay tuned. because all good things must come to an end. Mountain Drake first. I thought I had the advantage with the helping of some herbs, but it turns out that's not the case. So welcome to game 2.
The cilantro's not doing it for you, huh?
It is not doing it. Nope. It was like you get game 1, but after that, nope, never again. So we have a Nautilus here on red side. So we did see a lot of pings come out from the side of the Mine Goblins that they're like, okay, like, you know, they have a wait, other side. It's KEKW'd on the other side. Just kidding. So KEKW made a lot of pings. No, there's just pings everywhere now. See, now they're confusing the crap out of me. So I'm gonna shut up about the pings now. But
all right, you got it.
They were thinking about going for an invade, and they decided not to. They go for a classic 5-point stance. There was no vision. Looks like we got a little happy dance happening on the top side. Gnar is a champion we haven't really seen too much this year, which not saying that's a bad thing per se, but Gnar is one of those weird champions where he can just appear at whatever stage of the meta we happen to be in.
A little bit of an Xfinity diff there mid-sentence, but I heard most of what you said.
Yeah, yep. I got the gist of what you were trying to say.
Yep.
All right, Spectrum diff, no big deal, no big deal. I would be very upset if my internet cut out, mid-series.
Well, let's hope not. We do have a cull start from server once again, which I do like. Nautilus Hook Lancet will be a decent chunk as well. It started W again, which I don't like, as I mentioned last game. I'll repeat myself.
I could support it last game because she was so low health. I can't support it this game.
I don't know, I just think Q start's almost always better.
Now, if you fat finger the W, sure.
Yeah.
But 2 days in a row, that's consistency. That's not accidental.
Right. right, yeah.
The level 2 should be ticking over here in a second. Okay, as the Tom Kenshin, we're going
here
in.
Comes the Abyssal Dive, forcing the flash out of Kosher. That's going to be a trip by the Winch Zhao, who's already making his way down. Oh, wait, he's making his way up. Just kidding.
No, like I don't think it's going that way. I think they're gonna go for a topside play here.
Oh, I just realized the junglers are mirroring each other.
They are, they're mirrored clears. That's why we go Q start, by the way, because W start gives you fake lane pressure because you don't actually do any damage with level 1 ricochet with Cull. Anyways, I'll stop ranting.
Hey man, I'm always
ticking over to level 3. It's a really good trade right there.
I will always take your opinion very to heart when it comes to 80 carry things, because you and Hyper are the 2 80 carries. I'm like, I will listen to anything you guys tell me.
I'm gonna pause your sentence right there. It needs to be corrected. I might be an 80 carry, but brother, I am a rookie. By any comparison, I am still a rookie.
Hey, we're improving.
I just ticked over to silver, okay?
We're improving.
We're improving. So Zinzao will be spotted on this blue buff. He will get it though, but they are tracking exactly where he is. Udyr has already full cleared his jungle, so ahead in tempo. Ooh, slippery.
Slippery, a little slippery right there. Getting out of that. What is that?
Brittle proc?
Bellow's breath.
Thank you. Wow, the brittle proc.
Yeah.
I respect it, but Udyr ahead in the tempo will get to the bot lane scuttle. Will be seen on the.
I'm surprised.
Okay, I kind of.
I need to turn that.
Get it? I think. I mean, I'm assuming Homeboy started Phoenix. I think you can start that. I'm not too familiar with what he does, so.
Wait, he's ahead in tempo, and Jin Zhao got a little bit of a leash from the Gnar. On blue.
True.
That's concerning.
I mean, yeah, it looks like we got a little bit of a setup potentially happening for mid lane. We got pings coming down on the Zinzaos, but they are leaving on the other side. Wait a minute, 1v1 on the top side.
Yeah, Slippery just going over to Mega Gnar. Holy Spartan throws out. Does not get the charge knock up, trying to just wait out this Mega Gnar transformation. Slippery just trying to get in range so he can get that knock up. The Unstoppable goes through. The Brittle Proc finds the first blood. Flash forward from best support in 8, finds the Dredge line. Here comes the jungler. Flash from Kento gets him out of there. And Slippery Nights, I don't know what else more that he's going to be able to do. He gets the stun. The root is going to land and find the kill onto the mid laner. But Gran Torino double kill. Not what you want to see if you're PF Mind Goblins.
Yeah, I was going to say that I like the pink ward that they placed in the mid lane brush there because it hid that Silver Knights was actually on his way up. They couldn't see him, even with the ward in there. So the wind becomes lightning actually spotted him out, so they had to start peeling off. But the overdived a little bit, really well turned by Gran Torino there to get the kill onto Cyclone, as well as the double kill then onto the best support NA. But he might be overstanding a little bit himself here now.
I mean, Cyclone finds his way in with those shifting sands, but Gran Torino still doing a lot of damage in comparison. That
he dies, yeah.
Fear does not land, but he gets gives over a huge shutdown to the mid lane.
Ooh,
We had a death in the bot lane as too. Yeah, I was about to say they like a little bit of a botched dive in the bot lane in the process.
Wait,
so...
they didn't exhaust either.
No, that's why I'm like, what happened?
There was a flash burn too.
Well, he tried to flash out of tower range, because they during mid dive.
Oh,
I'm
what a
curious to
clean
see
dredge
what happened
line.
there,
They
though.
find Arcadius in a big chunk of his health too, but oh, best
Jinx.
support is gonna get
Flash.
run down. She doesn't have enough mana for her rockets.
Oh,
Forcing the
Flash.
flash
Don't
out of
need
that.
to
The
flash
abyssal
that.
dive is gonna come through. The dredge line is gonna
Yeah.
find
Give it
the
to
Jinx.
Jinx.
And does not
Okay.
get the kill. Too bad. Kosher's gonna get run down by Bixerax.
Anthology dies in the process. Let's
we've
slap
been
of the
licked.
tongue onto the Sliver. And we have a fight in the top
Forge
side.
God
Oh, nice flash.
does not hit Slippery. He did find the ultimate onto him. But that's it. That's it.
Nice combo.
Oh,
Oh,
knock
wait,
up,
Ignite.
little block,
Spellbook
and
Ignite,
the
baby.
coming down.
Yeah.
Holy Spartan. He's subscribed to the Orin macro.
He is subscribed to the macro one document. Let me open it up actually to see what the runes are.
God, every time you mention it, I love it. It's so good. I love it.
Let me whip it out to see what the runes are. Give me a sec.
But just kind of fighting all over the map right now. We had a little scuffle in the bot lane. Technology ended up dying, unfortunately, to kind of being ran down. But not
Yeah.
much you can do when you don't have flash, especially on Xerath. That's the problem with Xerath when he doesn't have flash. He's super immobile, which is why he excels from a range, and that's the reason why they picked him.
He is a macro or document subscriber.
Oh,
He is.
I said it. I said it as a meme.
Wait.
and he actually is.
I need to double check the runes. Okay, so on the macro Orn document, the runes are Spellbook, Magical Footwear, Biscuits. Oh my god, wait. Yep,
Wait, let me-
Biscuits,
does he have it?
Cosmic, yeah. Unyielding, Second Wind, yep. Okay.
wait, that's awesome.
With Haste, Armor, and MR. Oh no, he almost has it. If he had double armor runes, he would have the exact rune setup, but he doesn't have double armor. He has one MR rune.
I respect it regardless.
And then he didn't buy Cull, but so far the build is the same as well.
Wow, I love it. You know what?
But I understand why he doesn't go call in this scenario.
Actually, no, he
because
didn't rush Warden's Mail. He didn't rush Warden's Mail. He went Bombies. But starting items are the same and runes are almost identical.
The first Drake went over what was a mountain, so a little late per se, and it's gonna be an Infernal next, so that's what's next up on the map.
Ooh, Infernal next. I like it.
Wow, so you're a little too hyped because I think you're like mine's next. I
No.
bet.
Yeah, mine is
No.
next. Watch. It went Greek, and then it went Darter, and then Hyper is gonna get the next Drake.
I hope it is a cloud just to troll you.
I would cry.
But so 8 minutes here, 8.5. The Rift Herald was secured on the other side by KNP. Probably going to use mid lane to open that up, I would assume. I don't think you want Xerath to kind of... I mean, you kind of want Xerath to start roaming, so it makes sense. He would go
really
fighting.
clean stun, but
Nice
Cyclone
stun.
hits his ultimate.
They're gonna
to
go
get
for it
both
still.
The jungler and the mid laner out of there, but the ultimate coming out of the Xerath is gonna find one hit, doesn't find the
Thank
rest
you.
of them. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Udyr is just duking it out with Gran Torino. Wind becomes lightning, meaning wind becomes death.
Every time we see Xin Zhao, this champ pops off.
That's why I call him Win Zhao.
The wind's out.
Every
Like-
single time he's played on stream, he wins.
Ooh,
That-
really good knock.
they haven't won yet, to be fair, but he has 5-1.
Right at the end of that,
Nice
Mega
combo.
Narc timing
There's
out.
Public Ignite.
Yeah, he just
Gets flash.
flashes forward.
Oh,
Slippery,
he is
W.
slippery jalapeno. Not going to be able to get out of this one. But
Nice.
He's a
still
knower.
finds the kill.
Holy Spartan is a knower. He's got the Orn combos.
Knowledge, knowledge. Give him
He's
the
a knower.
knowledge.
He is
He's
a
a knower.
knower. I love it. And then the Rift Herald was dropped on the mid lane to get some extra gold to that Xerath. He is behind. Actually, no, he's not. Pretty close to even, actually. Just like 150 gold behind. So, overall, really good tempo. Much different game, that I will say. Much different game from KNP4 than we saw in Game 1. They were a little behind on a lot of the tempo that they were going on, but this time with Gran Torino on this Xin Zhao, I would argue he's making more heads-up plays than he was before. Not saying he wasn't making any on the Zac.
Yeah.
Or not the Zac.
Well, he was on the Poppy. He was.
The Poppy, yeah. But he was still making plays. I think that this being on this champion gives him that agency to accelerate the tempo on his terms. And he's ahead. He's 5-1. Looks like we're gonna get the Gore Drinker build out of the Xin Zhao. Not the. I think the Eclipse build is the other one, but it's been a long time.
I like Gore Drinker in this game.
I do too. This game is probably the best.
It just makes more sense, especially if he's gonna be in 5 people in some of these fights and just get that healing. Ooh.
Oh, he said nowhere. He said nowhere. I'm so happy.
Wow.
He knows.
Interesting. Udyr is bot side, so we could potentially have a little bit of a beef going on. Tongue Lash does miss. Oh, here we go. They see. They got
a ward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they should just.
So we don't die to it, right? Okay.
I would assume not, but we've seen some easier things.
We have seen some more interesting things. Call the Forge God is almost up. I'd say he pulls the trigger.
Yes, Spellbook goes. TP's almost back up.
I think he goes for it. I would think that's the most spiciest thing, but there is a ward here. Looks like we're gonna maybe get a lane gank here. Oh, unless they're aware of where Udyr is.
They saw him on the ward in the river. Yeah, this took Scuttle Crab though. We'll go over to red side.
Okay, interesting. Gran Torino.
They gotta know Grant is here, right?
I would assume so. Or Doc.
Yeah,
wait, things happening.
He missed. He missed.
Out of Gnar.
Yep. Got the flash though. W.
Yeah, I think that's pretty worth. So use TP, switch it to another combat spell, and go for it. Right? That's what he's gonna do, right? All right.
What difficulty is this matchup for Ornn? I think it's labeled by easy by macro. Let me see. I think it's an easy matchup for Ornn. Let me check.
You're gonna cleanse? You're gonna spell shield that? Okay.
No, it's a medium difficulty.
They're gonna pull the trigger.
They win it. Oh, TP. There's a Y0 TP.
On top, but the TP coming out of Gnar. He is now Mega Gnar. Gets a really good ultimate along with the Azir, and it is PS My Goblins in the bot lane. But Arcadius is now getting excited. They find best support in there.
Oh no! I saw
another kill. She is excited. 2 stacks. Make it 3.
Oh no!
Looking for number 4. Arcadius cannot be stopped. Triple kill for
That's
the
my goat right there. Really well played from both teams, actually.
Oh, that fight looked actually pretty good for
They both played it well.
There.
Yeah.
Oh my god, both teams played that so good, but it was... I think it was a cooldown diff. That's what that whole thing was. Oh, that's so unlucky, but just well done out of both teams there. KNP4 getting the advantage. It ends up being a 5-for-1 at the end of the day. The Drake is up, so I assume that everyone will immediately get back onto the map, try to get some vision around this objective, and then we see the inevitable Cloud Soul that's going to pop up just so Hyper can be wrong.
No.
Would be nice. But as much as that was a really close fight, KNP4 definitely come out ahead. You get a triple kill on your Jinx, who's also now 20 CS ahead. This Drake fight is more than favored for you, especially since Gran Torino already had the massive lead. However, this gold lead is a little bit deceptive just because of how ahead Ornn is. But this should be a free dragon.
Yeah,
I wouldn't fight this. Yeah, no, I mean, Jinx is
I like that they're giving. I like that they're giving.
I like that too, and it's a Hex deck, huh?
Get that ghost out of the way. Yep.
Oh, let's go! All right.
Well, that's
right.
disgusting.
Thank
you, Riot Games, I guess.
We called out. We got all the Drakes.
We did actually. Yeah.
It's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And there has been a time. What is she doing?
Oh, Arcadius.
Rocket, he just dies.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
All right.
I was not expecting that. I'm gonna be honest.
This champ's fair. I swear.
They should just get this tower, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nope, I guess not.
Look at this range is totally fair. Riot.
Oh, they do. Okay.
I was
He just gets a massive bit of shielding and then goes right back to hitting the wave. And I love how Grant.
I don't like that he spit him out that way, but.
I was literally about to say too that like it shouldn't entirely matter what happens. Oh, the call's done. I was like, it shouldn't really matter what happens if whatever CC they land on gets is gonna like chomp her up, and that's the end of the play from the start, and that's exactly what happened. So first tower does fall. First tower falls in the mid lane, which leaves Xerath to kind of do whatever he wants on the other side of the map. Looks like he's gonna reset that bot lane tower.
I think wave kills it.
Yeah, I think so too. Rift Herald does go over. And Mind Goblins, once again, like I said about 5 minutes ago, they're in a much better position this game than they were in game 1 at this point.
Yeah.
So a lot more controlled than what it was in game 1 at this point.
Yeah.
And showing, I don't want to like overhype them and say showing why they're the first seed, because they're the first seed for a reason. Is because they know how to like put a game state in a place where they can be in full control. They just didn't do that in game 1, and Mind Goblins took advantage of that.
Yeah.
If they could just if Mind Goblins could do that again per se,
He knows the timing. He's on it.
Oh, he's going for this.
Forward. Don't know about that one. Call the forward is going to hit that. Runaproc is going to land on the Cyclone to Billow's Blast. And I said I don't know about that flash. I am wrong because
he's a nowhere.
Solo kill.
He is a nowhere.
I love it. He's going to get that.
We are going to get killed here in the top lane, though, I think. Zinzao is here, though.
We have Xerath, though.
Oh, Xerath, just the artillery mage
really
that he
good
is.
flame choppers.
Is now excited. Going to use those stacks to take out that turret and.
Really well placed flame chompers.
That's why they drafted Xerath. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he finds a kill! Oh, Lord.
Arcadius looks really comfortable on this Jinx. They can't give him this again.
That's not happening. There's no way this guy gets it again.
Dude, he's still stacking. No, he's still maintaining the stacks. Wow.
Yeah, this champ is totally fair. His stacks have dropped off now, though. They shouldn't be able to get any more unless they go for this job, which I do think is very risky.
Oh, really
nice. They're fighting for it.
Nice ult.
Zinzao, and they're going to give it over to Cyclone for the shutdown. A flash forward from Bestene to get that root onto Arcadius, but Arcadius gets eaten by Tom Kent, but Arcadius finds the kill. Oh,
he wants it. He wants it.
Here. Cyclone, here comes Kentology. He's going to be able to miss the stun, and Cyclone just eating all of the free damage. Arcadius is giving him double kill. Jinx, you are godlike right now.
Oh, the champion's broke. Okay.
Yeah, this champ is broke. Like I said, she's not first pickable if you have answers to it. But Sivir Nautilus is not the answer, especially when a game state is like this after that really close bot lane fight. If it does go the other way, however, this Jinx isn't looking like this, but she does have IE fully completed now as well. 2 items at 17 minutes. They've gotten almost the entire top lane gone. Top lane tier 3 is like a quarter HP left. Mid lane tier 2 is also nearly dead as well. All they really have to do is wait out their time for another minute to fight this Drake, because I don't think PF can really contest it at this point. They need to farm up. And they can pressure a lot off this if they keep this game in the state that it is. And Udir's a little bit overextended here. We'll see if he gets caught out.
Yeah,
he's spotted now.
Here we go.
Gran Torino is here. Gran Torino going to be able to try to use something.
He's out.
But, Udyr is a fair champion. He just gets out for free.
I mean, at least it's not like old Udyr, where you could just bear turtle, and never die.
Yep.
Any season 3
They can just run it down mid, to be honest.
That's what I feel like.
I think they can just run it down mid, force them to respond, and if they die, they lose. Like, unironically.
Yeah. I agree, but Gran Torino might be a little awkward positioning here.
Oh, he's gonna Wind becomes lightning onto the Gnar right now, but his health bar is kind of getting obliterated right now. What a really great Gordran to get a chunk of health. Arcadius is legendary with that kill on Udyr. Meanwhile, we have a trade of towers in the top lane. Cyclone finds that top tier 1, but it doesn't matter because his bot tier 2 is gonna fall victim to the rampage that is Jinx.
If it gets 1 kill, the game's over.
I definitely agree. Azir is backing right now. Should have probably half of his second item done, if not the whole thing by the time. He canceled his back.
Yeah,
he canceled his back.
Stop the back.
Wait, why did Cyclone stop his back?
Oh, nice tongue lash.
Oh, you think tongue lash. The damage to follow as well.
Okay, they're gonna go Drake.
You think Xerath might have stopped his back?
I think Xerath might have stopped his back.
He ulted to it. He ulted to.
Oh yeah, he stopped his back. What are they?
He's trying to rocket to cancel Azir base.
I like it. But
by the way, best producer, I'll say it again, Chippy with the follow on that rocket. Love it.
That's that LCS quality. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
it's a base Baron and end angle for KNP4, I might say. However, if this Baron gets stolen, it might not be the game. But I think it just might be, because this is a 9-0 Jinx on my screen.
I see a problem on my screen. I don't know.
There also is a 5-0 Ornn as well.
I see a problem on my screen.
They just don't have the damage to kill him right now. Even without this Jinx having this much of a lead, if Ornn had this lead and the rest of the map was even, tanks when ahead are nearly unkillable unless the enemy AD carry, or if you have like this Azir with super fed, then you can deal with him. But they don't have those tank shredding items coming through yet for them. There is the Liandry's, but Azir doesn't. Sivir, excuse me, doesn't have her mythic yet. Still just the Kraken Slayer. Azir has
He has to use that ultimate to try to get out of there, but a super mega death rocket.
Yeah, it's a Baron.
Making her a 10-0 Jinx. Arcadius is a problem.
That was a little okay. Mild blame. That was kind of embarrassing. He should have shifted out the second he saw Zinzao.
Yeah.
So why he didn't? That's a massive.
Oh my god! Silver Knights is doing like negative damage to Ornn.
Oh, yeah, this guy doesn't take damage.
No, yeah, he's 5-0 with the Jack Show and the Sunfire. Baron will go over.
It's a 5-0 Ornn. This guy's never dying the rest of this game. I can promise you that.
Zerathol. Oh my god.
Nice patience.
We're walking straight.
One more. Heal, but it doesn't matter.
We're just walking in a straight line.
Artillery from downtown.
Well, he tried to sidestep it, but Tenno had really good patience on there. Once you know how a player sidesteps, you can just kind of like sit there and expect them to be backstep, walk forward, backstep, walk forward. That's how like everyone default jukes. And that's exactly what Kosher did. The backstep, trying to predict when he's shooting the ult, but just had so much patience on those shots and just hit every single one of them, got the free kill. This should be a tower. They can dive this very easily.
They could probably win this.
They can end here, I think.
I mean, Arcadius has now got those stats.
There it is.
Gets another kill. Jumping on the best support.
Flame jumpers.
Good god.
Second death rocket as well. And that is a quadra kill coming out from Arcadius. Are they going to be able to give her the... Oh, wait, that's a triple. I apologize. Because that Udyr is still alive.
Could be a penta, though.
Penta. Wait a minute. Kosher, making a quadra.
Give it to him.
Give it to the Jinx. And
no, it's not. They took too long. They took too long.
Arcadius, you monster. And that is game number 2.
It's not a penta. They took too long.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
They took too long. It's a triple and a double kill. They took too long. You didn't get a penta.
No, dude. I was so excited.
They took too long. It wasn't a penta. They took too long.
No, bro. I was so excited for that.
They took too long.
Penta.
They took too long.
God bless America, but that does tie up the series. I imagine Arcadius probably did the most damage.
Too long. Yeah, he did. It was actually close. To be fair, it was close. He did just under 20,000 damage. I'll just call it 20,000 because he's 50 damage short. And the next closest was Tenno on the Xerath with 14,000. And then Gran Torino and Cyclone and Silver Knights all doing around 10 to 11,000 damage. So it was close, but yeah, Arcadius did the most damage. This Jinx was more than scary. And this is why this champ is first pickable. If the other team doesn't have answers to it, and if you have the support, like I said, in draft that can play Tahm Kench and Thresh, and they aren't banned away or taken away from you, it's such a strong first pick, especially when things like the Jarvan are banned and when Orianna drops so far. They don't really have the champions available to really shut down this Jinx early. The way that I normally do it, or like the teams that I've seen normally do it, are with kill lanes, like I mentioned. If you're going to pick like Kai'Sa Nautilus and just look to abuse it with like an early ganking jungler like a Lee Sin or a Zinzao, like KMP4 played, just to try and put this Jinx in the dirt early, and then when she's behind, she's still like normal Jinx, because it's really only when Jinx gets ahead, she snowballs so hard with the passive changes, even after her passive got nerfed. It doesn't, you can't get multiple stacks off objectives, you can just get one. Rather than it used to stack off towers, so you'd get like 10 stacks if you got like a 4 kills and like their whole base, you'd have 20 attack speed. Now you can only get 1 stack off towers even if you take 4 of them. And it's capped at 5, I think, or 6.
It's capped at 5.
Yeah, so she's not as broken as she was last patch, but still very strong. And if you're not like comfortable playing those hardcore kill lanes and like playing hard through bot to try and put Jinx in the dirt early, definitely a ban-worthy champion for sure.
Well, yeah, I don't think my man's is ever going to get that again, but that's absolutely insane. Just, I'm looking at the post game right now as well, and that was gross. I mean, that triple kill in the bot lane for that one fight that ended up being a 5-for-1.
He played that Jinx so clean.
So good. The kiting was so good, but I do not expect that Arcadius will ever see this champion
that explains
again.
it. He's D4. Okay, that explains it. He's good at the game. He knows what he's doing. How many Jinx? I'm curious. How many Jinx teams does this guy have? Because he looked really comfortable on it. He looked good on the Xayah, but like he looked very comfortable on Jinx. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of his main champions.
Yeah.
Well,
because he looked really clean on it.
while we look into that, and
Zaya's actually his most played. He looked more comfortable on Jinx. I mean, his average KDA in solo queue with Jinx is like 4.2. So, and like I'm assuming all of that is current patch. But yeah, he looked super comfortable on Jinx, and I'm assuming that's why they banned Zaya actually, because he looked comfortable on it, but it just wasn't the right game for it. I think this bot lane's gonna be hard to deal with for PF Mind Goblins. Now that you've seen like both of what their gears are and what they're comfortable playing. So I'm curious to see if they try to take Jinx B1 or if KMP leave it open intentionally. So I'm curious to see what happens.
I agree, and Mind Goblins are going to go to blue side for this next game. But in the meantime, while we go ahead and like get everything set up, we'll go ahead and take a quick break. But when we come back, it will be game 3 between these two teams. Don't go anywhere.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen Unstoppable League Semifinals. If you're joining us now, welcome. We have a pretty entertaining series on us tonight. It is now 1-1 after game number 2 with Arcadius's unofficial pentakill.
Yes.
We're gonna say he had a full house instead.
Yeah, he got a full
Yeah.
house.
He got a full house nonetheless. 3-2. But draft is starting up. So, brethren, I will see you when draft is done.
Okay.
So as mentioned,
yeah.
I was gonna say
No,
that they
go for it,
side
go for it.
swapped. So they
Yes.
side swapped. Looks like we're still sticking towards that
Really,
Jarvan first
Jarvan.
ban. So I guess Mind Goblins are not comfortable on the
Zaya?
champion to like take it
Oh.
away. They're banning the Xin Zhao. I do
I
expect
actually-
these to be the final ban.
Yeah,
Unless they're gonna
Jinx
first
should
pick
be
it.
banned from K&P. Zaya should be banned from P. Yeah,
They're
100%.
gonna first pick it.
My Goblins have to look to first pick Jinx here if it isn't banned, but should be. There it is.
Banned. Okay, cool.
They're going right back to the first pick Rakan. It did work for them last time. I really hope they don't go back to the Sivir.
Me too.
Just because it's not good enough this early in the draft. If you want to go back to the Sivir, I think you have to drop AD till 4-5 just to see if it's actually a proper Sivir game, because both of these times they've picked champions that have outranged it. And now with the Aphelios open, if they go like Thresh Aphelios here, you definitely can't play Sivir. As much as Sivir does well into hook champions, Thresh is one of the ones that doesn't care too much about Sivir spell shield, because you can still recast Q, go on top of her, hit the flay if she spell shields your hook. So it doesn't actually do too much. They can also go Aphelios Tahm Kench as well, go right back to it. The Tahm Kench looked good last game. But yeah, they're just kind of picking ADCs that Sivir can't really play well into, expecting that's what they go back to. So I'm curious to see what PF decides to pick in the bot lane, or if KMP drops support to 3 and pick jungle here, which is what I would do, but you don't really need to because you already see support pick. So I like that much better. I like the TK.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it gets you out of the Rakan ultimate just pretty much for free, so Aphelios doesn't have to take cleanse here. But they will go ahead and lock that in as a pretty strong bot lane. As you did mention, though, earlier, is that it is a flex pick. Highest win rate in the top lane on this current patch. Yeah. So whether or not they decide to flex that pick, I doubt it, but just something that Mind Goblins will have to consider. So from here, I do agree with you. Do not pick your AD carry here yet. Yeah. I think you should save that for second phase. Maybe there is a chance that KMB bans a couple of extra AD carries. I doubt it. They're probably going to focus more in the mid lane like they have since the beginning of the series. They would ban Syndra away, or they're going to pick Kog'Maw. Okay. Not a fan personally.
I'm a little scared for that Kog'Maw pick. Now, Kog'Maw Rakan is actually not that bad. With Maokai, it's a little bit, it's like fine, I think. I do still think Kai'Sa is better here. Against Tahm Kench, it's like kind of annoying, but I do think you kind of want to have that potential poke and also dive threat with Rakan Maokai. Kog'Maw doesn't provide you with that. Is still like an artillery mage type ADC with a very high range, so can play against these comps. And yeah, we did see Jax be banned these last 2 games, and it is open this time. So I'm not surprised if they pick it here. Also, not a bad blind pick top either. They do kill the Tahm Kench flex, but it's not really much of a flex to begin with. I don't think their top laner plays a whole lot of Tahm Kench, so for this specific team, it doesn't do a whole lot for them. With this Jax blind, they should ban for it 100%. I would expect 2 top lane bans to just be fired off here, whatever he doesn't want to play against, depending on what PF Mind Goblin's top laner wants to play against it. I think Malphite ban is pretty necessary. They are going to ban Syndra, which is interesting. They're kind of trying to bait it an Orianna ban with that. I think it's a decently smart. I'm curious to see if they just go full on with mid lane bans. If they're comfortable, if their top laner's just like, hey, I can play this champ into anything. They first rotated Bandit for a reason every game. So I think that you can just kind of go with the Syndra Azir ban. Hope they leave Orianna open. Nico could be left open. Things like that. There's a lot of options you have on mid lane here. And you can also just pick jungle and wait for R5 for mid lane, so you don't have to ban too many things there. So, but Ziggs is going to be banned away.
Yeah, so you can go for the counter pick, which I think would be better for KNP personally. Yeah. I think just pick your jungler here. I mean, there's a lot of jungle picks still open. I mean, sure, like the first 2 are banned. I was going to say I would like either Vi or arguably Wukong in this instance too.
Ooh, this is a good Ivern game. No lie, it's a good Ivern game. I don't know if he plays it, but it's actually a good Ivern game.
Okay, that could be pretty cool. I think
let me double check. I think it's good into Maokai, and it's good into these champs as well, and it's really good with Aphelios. I don't see a whole lot of Ivern in his match history.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Xerath, as much as like Tenno kind of got abused in lane a little bit, it did its work in the late game. They are going to go Briar.
That's a champion we haven't seen
Interesting.
at all.
It's really, I actually think it's good. Just because of this bot lane, right? The Rakan is slippery, but Kog'Maw isn't. I like
Okay,
that better
Sejuani,
though.
okay.
It pairs better with your top lane, and especially with
Mhm.
how he's been doing, it allows you to play more towards top, and allow him to get those leads.
Oh, they
But the
just switch
Briar,
instantly. Okay.
yeah, both of those options were good. I think Sejuani is better for game. Um, but if you do want to try and get your AD carry a lead, knowing what they did last game, I think this pick is better than the Sejuani.
Okay, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Briar as a champion, I believe this is the first time it's picked for us on
Yeah.
stream. I don't think it might not have been picked anywhere else in the league. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. So this will be our first time seeing it on stream here. This could be a very good pick. The champion strong Alawi is going to be the insta lock answer.
That's a good answer to Jax, actually.
I like that answer. So really strong, confident pick coming in from Mind Goblins. Minus the Maokai, or not the Maokai, the Kog'Maw right now. I kind of like Mind Goblins draft.
Yeah.
It just depends on what they pick for
They
the mid
can
lane
save
here.
it with
I really
Jace.
like it.
I know that Cyclone plays it, but I don't know if
Okay.
he's going to.
Anivia.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. That's providing some range ability. A Kali
Ooh.
means you're 100% just going to try to kill the Aphelios every time.
Oh,
I'm
but
not
with
a
Tom
fan.
Kench, I don't like it.
Yeah, as I say, I'm not a fan of it only because of the Tom Kench. If it was
Yeah.
any other support, I'd probably be like, I'll give it a chance. But
Mhm.
man, it's gonna make it so hard. You're gonna have to burn the Tom Kench ultimate early, and then Silas. Oh god, this is a good Silas game actually.
It is a good Silas game, yeah.
Oh man, this is a very good Silas game. And
I
it's
really like
unbanned.
KMP's draft if they lock this in.
I do too.
I like that as well. I like both.
Okay.
I like both options. I like that as well. Any one of those three mid laners is good for different reasons. The Silas has the most carry potential for Tenno, though, if he goes with that. Yeah, okay.
There he goes.
The reason why Lissandra and Celia are also both good is they're good into Akali, and they have really good setup for Briar if you want to get her fed. But Silas is good for like carry potential and also still has setup for Briar, just less good in the Akali matchup. It's more of a skill matchup.
Okay, but in that case, since we finally have the end of the draft, let's bring our boy, Mr. Play-by-Play, back in and get his thoughts on this draft.
So, I'm torn.
Are you now?
I'm torn. First off, I don't care what you guys say about Kog'Maw. I love the Kog'Maw pick.
It's just bad in this draft.
I
like Kog'Maw. I think Kog'Maw's OP and more people should play it.
Unironically, my best champ for some reason.
This champ's OP. I can't play Kog'Maw, but
I don't know why. I just could play that champion.
I can't play it.
Way better than I can play Ashe, which does, like, in my mind, I play Ashe a lot more than Kog'Maw, but whatever, not the point.
Yeah. I think Kog'Maw is a good champ, just not in this game. But
I don't like it. I don't like it in this game. I do like it, and I don't like it at the same time. I don't like it because of KMP's mobility with Jax, Hop, Abyssal Dive, Briar, Silas being Silas. Like, that's why I don't like it. But I do like it as well. In the case in point of you still do something even upon hitting gray screen because you can just walk your little body in and then blow up. So like it's still useful.
If that's why you're picking Kog'Maw though, maybe you should pick another ADC. Now I am the best user of Kog'Maw passive that I know of. I have maximum uptime of Kog'Maw passive when I play this champion. But like again, if that's where your value is in this pick, probably not the best AD carry. I'm
trying to reason with the pick. That's all.
The main reason
I still like it in this comp though. I still like it into their comp too because of so much. Once you get to that late game, Kog'Maw just deals so much damage. It's unreal.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be able to. He won't be able to. You have Jax, Briar, Silas with very little peel because I'm assuming Alawi will not be team fighting and your only peel is a Maokai.
But I don't like KMP's draft. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
I like there's a lot more.
I think their draft is really good.
I don't like it for I don't like it because there's everybody's a carry.
Yeah. That's how my team plays.
That's why I don't like
That's how my team plays.
That's why I personally don't like it.
The thing with 4-threat comps is my team plays a lot of those or played a lot of those since we've been eliminated now. But we played 4-threat comps a lot, and it works really well if you have a lot of players that can carry. Because the thing with 4-threat comps is when you're playing things like what PF My Goblins have, where they have
that's
like
a 5-threat, by the way. Tom Kench is still a threat.
It's a support Tom Kench, so it's a 4-threat comp. And when you're playing like a Rakan like a front to back style composition, but then you have a Kali and then a Lowy who wants to side lane. So you're playing a 4-1 composition that sort of wants to play front to back, but your mid lane champ doesn't really fit that, and you don't have anyone to assassinate when you're playing against Tom Kench, and you can only assassinate one champion. And then you don't have enough peel to keep Briar, Silas, and Jax off your carries. And even if Jax is in side lane matching Alawi, which to be fair, this Alawi pick does well into Jax, and it's a very good matchup for them. Even in the 4v4, if you're playing 4-1, you are disadvantaged because you don't have enough peel for Kog'Maw. If your Rakan Maokai go in too quickly, you're almost always going to be one-shot. You have a stolen Nature's Graph from Silas Briar ult if you don't sidestep it. Especially if you're going forwards, it's hard to sidestep that as well. Aphelios' damage is very high, as much as this champion is sort of weak. If he gets to 3 items, it's still an Aphelios. And then if Jax TP flanks as well, just completely annihilate Kog'Maw because he has no self-peel whatsoever. Which is why I think KMP4's draft is just much better, is because A, it's easier to execute, and B, they have 4 threats. So this Akali's going to not have just one target to assassinate. It's not like a Jinx and 4 wards type of composition where if she kills Jinx, they have no damage left. They have a lot of damage in their composition, but it's a lot of bruisery type damage, so this Aphelios still has a lot of peel.
That caught me off guard.
Jinx and 4 wards, yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that was pretty good. We're approaching the end of the loadout, so we should be getting runes and summoner spells here in a second.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay, so we have. They're pretty. Okay, we have no flash on Briar, which is interesting.
No,
that's normal-ish.
Okay. Ghost on Aphelios. You know what?
We have Ignite on Silas. I don't like that.
I don't like the Ghost on Aphelios either. I think he needs cleanse. It's Rakan.
I
think not taking cleanse against Rakan is so
Arcadius did last game. Brother, you could run whatever summoners you want.
Yeah, but last game he didn't need cleanse because it was all like knockups and uncleansable CC, so like didn't really matter. But this game it's all cleansable CC, and like if he cleanse flashes a Rakan engage and then just presses blue Q, he kind of one-shots their whole team. So he kind of needs cleanse to be able to get that self peel because you have a 4-threat comp.
Interesting that Alawi went Grasp and not Conqueror here.
That's pretty typical.
Yeah, it's like it's normal and not normal. I think the thing with Grasp is she can farm it against Jax really easily. Because Jax wants to trade early, and you win trades early as Alawi versus Jax, as long as Jax doesn't sidestep your E and doesn't take Ignite, which he didn't take Ignite this game, so you will be winning trades early. Because that's what you have to do. As someone who has 400,000 mastery points on Jax, if you're playing against Alawi, you have to take Ignite, otherwise you lose.
Okay.
It's pretty, and you have to sidestep every single E.
Pretty standard. I see Briar's run.
I like Conqueror better though. Personally, in this
I don't know what she runs as of yet.
She does like a bruisery type build.
It's like Gore Drinker.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Because Gore Drinker or Stride Breaker. I think Stride Breaker is better this game.
So she's already in the fight, so Gore Drinker kind of works. Electrocute.
Yeah, Gore if they have a lot of front line, Stride if they don't. So
we have Electrocute on Silas, so it's not First Strike or Conquer, which is
interesting. This guy's going Night Harvester. I'm telling you this right now, he's building Night Harvester.
I like the Conquer on the Akali because she doesn't have that one-shot potential that she normally should have. Like you mentioned, Jinx forwards. Because if you're looking to blow up someone, you normally take Electrocute. Or I've seen Fleet Footwork on her too.
Yes,
I see Fleet a lot too.
So I'm expecting Lethal Temple on both these AD carries then. Oh no, we're going Fleet on Aphelios. Okay.
I like Aphelios.
I take Fleet on him.
Yeah, I like Aphelios with the Fleet.
Especially if you're
kind of have to take Lethal.
Yeah, you have to take Lethal Tempo, otherwise you're kind of trolling. So thankfully he did. But Aphelios with Fleet is good against Rakan because you kind of need it. It gives you a little bit of extra survivability in lane. You can dodge W by like pressing red Q and stuff. Yeah, both supports going Guardian is also very standard. I like Shield Bash on Rakan though.
I do too.
I think it's super underrated taking Shield Bash on Rakan.
Yeah, I do too. But 20 seconds speculate. We'll do once again Dragon Souls in between the break and whatnot. But we'll be right back in a moment with Game 3. Are we gonna finally get a leader of the series? Well, obviously, but who's he gonna be? So we'll be right back. It appears that I can't be right 2 times in a row, but I can be wrong 2 times in a row. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 between KEKW'd and Poggaroo'd the 4th versus PF Mind Goblins. We got a little bit of shenanigans happening in the river at the moment. I think we might actually get a fight.
Briar actually W's early. The counter-strike from Jax as well, but it's a massive Q from Maokai. A lot of damage on the sides, but I don't think they have the damage to actually kill him as Akali's getting some autos down. But
okay,
nothing too much should happen from this. Kog'Maw pressing W for fun as well.
Yeah, so it very crucial. The top lane does end up blowing the flash, so Slippery Jalapeno will not have that flash for the next few minutes. So Briar will back, Silas will back. They'll both get where they need to be just in time back in lane. Anyways, actually, Silas will be a little behind, but I don't think that's really that big of a deal. Kali's not going to hard shove him. Not level 1. The Q timer.
This guy takes Cull in every lane, huh?
Yeah, he does. Between the nice little in-shot of gold, I suppose, would be the reason. I mean, more power to him. I mean, it ends up working out once he gets the items, but it looks like junglers will be starting on the same side of the map. Maokai will be leashless, so whether or not Tom Kench and Arcadius will walk that direction, I hear a sigh.
Had to leash bot. You know, every time if my jungler asks for a leash, unless they're playing like Silas or Darius jungle, I tell them if I leash we lose lane, and then I walk to lane.
I like it
because it's true.
Oh yeah, you're okay. I can feel that. It slows down your tempo, slows down the tempo, as you can see. You know,
especially
now,
if the enemy bot doesn't leash, which they didn't. So
yeah, in this case they didn't. So I'm getting a little bit of a CS lead.
Yeah. So annoying.
It's also hit too. I mean, hey, it's one of those things where you just gotta kind of be careful. But it's just kind of not exactly the start that they had in game 1. By this point, Gosher had already burned Flash because, you know, just unlucky things happened. But in this case, you know, getting a little bit of an advantage early is what started, you know, the trend for my Gums to win this game, which also proves the theory that's been going on since the start of Worlds that blue side is broken.
Blue side broke,
currently.
I mean, they lost last game with blue side the same.
They did, yeah.
Whoa, what a trade by Alawi.
Oh. Nice E by Tenno.
It was a really good E, yeah. I'm also going to point out that was KEKW'd and Poggaroo'd on blue side last game. So
it was, yeah. Blue side's won every game, yeah.
Oh, word. My bad.
Blue side still broke. Yeah. Welcome back, by the way, Hyper.
Yeah, I had said some things before and then realized my mic was muted. Oh, what a flash change!
Okay,
Tenno by Cyclone! Wow, these mid laners are playing out of their minds right now.
Tenno, that was crazy, actually. What?
Tenno got some hands, but Cyclone got some hands.
He cancels the base as well. Oh no.
Oh, the tempo is lost.
How is he level 4 and a call level 2?
It's so Jover.
We did not see what was going on there.
Melee minions. He had to drop XP second wave because of the trade that happened level 2 between Tenno and Cyclone, and then Cyclone also he missed like 3 melees on second wave, so he didn't spike 3, which he has now. And then Silas got more XP off that wave as well.
WE first?
Who did?
Kog'Maw.
Kog'Maw? Yeah.
Is level 2?
That's pretty normal.
Do you go Q next? Do you go start W then go Q next?
I would have preferred to have gone Q here, just because I know the Tom Kench
Listen,
wants to go
I'm not a
face.
Kog'Maw player. However, I don't think you need Q second in lane.
Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. No flash here means she could die.
Well, she did
does,
get
for
the
sure.
W, but it's not enough. First blood going over to Briar.
Okay. You know what? Take those. I mean, just abusing the no flash that happened from that level 1 makes sense. And just classic jungle business. The first blood goes to the Briar, which I mean, you'll take either way, whichever the kill goes.
That's actually massive.
This champion, from what I've seen on Twitter, especially when she gets ahead, she is very, very obnoxious.
This champion is obnoxious ahead or behind.
Well, behind she's basically one-shot permanently.
Doable.
However, this champ does have a 42% ban rate for a reason.
I think she is getting buffed next patch too, if I remember correctly.
She should not be.
So.
She has a 42% ban rate and a 50.5% win rate.
I know Jinx is being nerfed again, Lamau, so there's that coming in.
Yeah.
But we could talk about leads, obviously. So about 1,500 gold lead coming in, most of it from that first blood play. Also jungle tempo in favor of Gran Torino. Junglers will spot each other. No flashes in the mid laners, so if Kent hits this. Wow.
Oh,
Tenno is
looking
really good
right there. Gonna go back in with the Shuriken. But Gran Torino and Vectorex are here, but here is Rakan as well. Could be looking at a No, we're not going to be looking at a fight there in the ring.
Nope, I guess it'll just kind of walk away. Very interesting. I mean, I kind of get what was cooking there. They were kind of there ready for the play because I think they sensed it was coming. But in this instance,
I love Alawi so much.
She's a fun champion. Jax also hasn't backed yet, so there's that. So Holy Spartan's sitting on gold at the moment. 900
Yeah,
gold.
he's sitting on about 1,000, yeah.
So he should probably go back for. I would assume he's gonna go.
He has to stay for this wave though.
All right,
Yeah.
if Arcadius knows what he's doing, he cycles purple first.
I don't know how to play Aphelios. I would love some tips. Not gonna lie.
It's really easy. You just cycle the same color guns in the same order.
I just don't know how to cycle them. That's the thing.
Red white wins the fight. That's all
Yeah,
I
that's
got.
all I know.
You cycle red, green, purple, blue, and then red again, and then you have red, white, green, blue, purple, red. No, green, red, purple, blue, red.
I must have been sitting here for a while.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. So the first Drake, which is a Cloud, unfortunately, please be one of their Drakes next. It's just kind of interesting that like both junglers were kind of just there, and I guess that entire time Gran Torino was like, "Yep, Dragon's free."
Yes.
God bless America.
I'm not wrong. Let's go.
What?
It's Chemtech.
I need one of you to be wrong so I can feel better about getting it wrong for the second time.
Nice
That's all.
combo.
That's a good combo, yeah.
Yep. He is cycling purple next. I'm so happy. Okay, there's 2 cycles you can go with Aphelios. One of them is objectively worse than the other, and I will never understand why people go it.
All right. So
it is
how blunt you were.
It is. It's the one that I think is just objectively worse is when you have green blue and then you have purple red together, which is like super weird because I don't understand why you'd ever want those 2 guns together. I understand why you want green blue because it's really good for poke, but green purple is also good for poke. So if you just cycle purple before blue, you have green purple blue red, rather than green blue purple red.
He's using all
Aphelios. This guy can take the whole tower. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he's using his entire red white just to get tower plates. They got 3.5 tower plates off that whole thing. Hold on.
Welcome to Aphelios.
Yeah,
nice chains.
But a fight there in the mid lane.
He has perfect
2v2.
execution.
The mid laners and the junglers duking it out, but it looks like Briar finds the kill and a really good execution. But the self-top coming out from Gran Torino gives Cyclone a kill.
Ghosted in. Nah, you're mental for that. There's no way he popped a ghost.
And then self-top.
Okay, never mind. Here we go. He'll fight the bot lane in the meantime.
Yeah,
nice
Grand Nations is going to find Aphelios, and it looks like Kosher trying to find some damage, but the exhaust is going to keep him from dealing any more. Ignite taking away down onto Arcadius, making this a trade more like in favor of Mind Golems, just because of the health from best support. But look at the damage coming out from Kosher right now on a Vexarax.
Arcadius is like sitting on like 1.7, no 1.5.
Yeah, they need to get bailed out. They need to get bailed out by their jungler.
Mind Goblin is doing a really good job of keeping them in lane too.
Pardon?
Well, they overstayed for plates is what happened. Mind Goblins didn't keep them here. They kept themselves here.
I mean,
let's not get it twisted.
They decided to use the whole red white to get pretty much the entirety of the tower. Okay, they should be bailed out right now.
Oh, please don't step up, Kosher. Please don't step up. Don't do it.
Gran Torino just needs to just come into lane so they can crash wave and then they can base.
Yeah.
Because right now this wave sucks.
Oh yeah, you're telling me, brother. Holy Spartan kind of taking unlucky trades right now at the moment. That Sheen kind of coming in clutch for the Alawi. Not that it's really that big of a difference. It's just when somebody. Oh wait, hold on a second.
Nah, he's fine.
Oh. We're just fighting all over the place. Okay. Alawi might. Okay, I thought she was gonna say she might try to go.
Yeah, he just has to face. Oh, it sucks.
Oh, that was close. Okay, but he does have TP, so he will be back in the lane.
Yeah.
Alawi does not have
bot lane is so annoying.
Oh, the Briar ultimate does miss. Whew. I saw it on the map.
Okay, this is what I don't understand. Why don't Briar players just walk into lane and ult down the lane? Nice flash.
Oh,
Malakai's here, so there's that. It doesn't matter.
And Nature's Grasp does find
Jax
Holy
can kill him
Spartan,
if
but
he
it
wants.
doesn't matter because Jax still gets the kill. Bases picks the Sheen up, comes back, claims the kill.
All right.
Does anyone have an answer to my question? Why don't Briar players just like walk into lane and then ult down the lane instead of trying to randomly hit a skill shot like the other way?
I don't know. I mean, maybe because they expect the players to walk a certain way when they go for it, but I think you're right.
Like
it's
easier, you know?
It's just much easier. Oh, good chains.
Oh my god, that damage. Nice shuriken flip, though.
Cyclone goes back in. We have an Akali player on our hands, boys.
Yeah, oh yeah, this guy plays Akali. Yep, he does.
Interesting. Holy Spartan should leave here.
Yep, I'm gonna use that minion to jump out of there. Still takes a tower shot.
He's fine.
Yeah, no, I think
even if he gets hit by Q, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, the spot wave is so annoying.
Oh, taking
Steals
the
perfect
Akali
execution.
ultimate. He can actually use it to claim this kill right here. Flash
nice
forward.
flash.
Doesn't find it.
Oh, nice.
Maokai's here. He should trade.
Nice.
In return, but Silver Knights
is fine.
Oh, the dash forward. Not
He
gonna
changed
be able
to a
to
minion.
Kano because KEKW'd is going to bail him out so he can walk out clean.
He just weirdly walks out. Okay. I mean, Tahm Kench was there, so probably saves him anyways. But man, that
he gets that with the abscond. It doesn't need to use the abduct onto a minion. I thought he would.
I thought so too. But wow. So finally, Arcadius has backed, by the way. And now has some items in his
He ended up having to drop a wave, which sucks because he didn't end up like crashing it, but still is up 10-12 CS. It'll be a little bit more even after he
Second Drake
does catch this wave.
Second Drake also started
they should be there because they have Bot for it and mid prio.
Yeah, TP from Akali actually. So hold on a second.
It's a good TP actually.
Oh yeah, they're in the bot lane. They find Vexarax. He tried to use that Abyssal Dive to get out of there, but a really nice cancel coming out from Silver Knights. They do claim the kill onto the TK, forced off of the Drake. The Nature Grab's doing a really good job. Briar trying to create some space, but a flash forward and a grand entrance. It's gonna find Gran Torino. The Ignite taking down. He gets back to his team, but here comes the ultimate Briar and a massive one at that. But Akali still claims the Aphelios on the back line. Kento goes in, he finds a kill onto the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw passive doing what it's trying to do, but it's not going to be able to do much. Silver Knights is going to be in a 1v1 situation, and Best in A has to get out of there. Looked really good for Mind Goblins on the turn, but the counter engage coming from that Briar ultimate was just so massive.
This is why I like 4-threat comps. Yeah, they killed Aphelios, but they still have a lot of damage left. That's why I didn't like the in there, but nice combo.
That does stop the Drake, though, so unless Aphelios gets
really good. No, it doesn't. Really good Briar. It does resets partially.
Oh, that could be costly.
He tried to smite it, so it didn't reset.
This could potentially be costly if Maokai decides to come.
I mean,
they still got vision of it.
Oh, yeah,
this is not worth it. Alawi's TPing right there in the Drake pit, forcing them off of it. A really great TP from Slippery right there.
Wow. Ocean's Drake.
He smited it to try and stop it from resetting.
Yeah, and then as a result, that just kind of opened the window to them to kind of collapse because you have no smite and you just don't take the Drake fast enough at this point.
Off right here.
Who said Ocean, by the way?
Nope, I didn't say Ocean. I said Mountain. Oh, they do get the charge off.
Yeah, Coach didn't get any plates, though.
Yeah, nah. So that does end up being kind of a null Rift Herald take at the end of that whole thing.
I mean, the jungler still gets the plates.
Yeah, it's so useless. I'm sorry. Maokai getting solo plates when you want this Kog'Maw to get fed is really
Cyclone going for 1v1 onto Gran Torino right there. The Abyssal Dive is going to be coming in. The perfect execution. Not going to be able to find because Tahm Kench eats the jungler. And a really big shield. Cyclone is going to try to run him down. She's going to self-top. The exhaust coming through. Cyclone does get the kill. Really big shutdown. 700 gold in his pocket. And the 3v1 onto Kento. Kento goes forward.
They can still fight this.
No way they went for that.
The slow by the Kog'Maw does land the chains. You find, and the swiftness does stop Kento from his pursuit ever so slightly.
I can't believe he W'd forwards there.
Oh no, okay.
Sidestep for those chains. The tongue lash is not hit, but Arcadia is going in for a little bit of cheeky damage. They could take these spots here if they wanted to. Top lane just doing top lane things, but it looks like Holy Spartan is in the advantage. Back to the bot lane, back to the top lane. Who's it going to be? A bot tier 1. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Aphelios with white is Tower Destroyer.
Yeah, so very should have just let the tower go, so it does end up being first tower for KNP. 4,000 gold lead up.
You can dive almost this. Doesn't have ult though. Oh, it's a really risky dive.
Yep. Pops the ult. Now he heals pretty much all of his health.
Super balanced.
Flashes forward, gets really nice W, and flashes forward, uses the hop. Luckily, able to get out of that one.
I hate Illaoi.
Wow, Holy Spartan using
damn.
everything
This
in
ult
his
hits.
kit to live.
Oh, just not. I thought it
Wow,
did.
that was actually close. I mean,
They're
100% dies
four-manning top?
anyways.
Or 3-manning it? What? Does the Cyclone just die?
Yes.
I think Cyclone might just die here. The chains are gonna miss as she
Let's
uses
go.
that blast clone to get out of there. Nobody's gonna be able to follow her.
That's so not worth it. They lose Herald now.
Yep. No health on your assassin who needs to be available in all these
And
fights.
he gets cancelled.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
this
jumping
play
out
is
to
so
allow you.
bad.
Oh no, she might actually die here, but really good damage
That was close.
and
Oh, this play
healing.
is so
What?
bad.
Interesting.
Why did they do that?
You don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, I guess I can vibe with it, but weird. League of Legends players, man, they're something.
Like,
that's for sure.
I understand the theory. Oh, this Mach is so one-shot. It's not even funny.
Yeah, unfortunately, this would
Recon
not
ult?
be able
Nice
to save him
engage,
right
though.
there. The Grand Entrance does find a lot of does find a knockup, and the Swiftness does find a lot of
Here's
charms,
Akali.
but the
This
jungler
Kog'Maw
is still
doesn't
going to
do
be able
any
to fall
damage.
in the end of that fight. Cyclone looking over for Gran Torino.
Nice by Cyclone,
not going to be able to get killed, but
Nice.
does in the end. The
No
Grand
flash
Entrance
time
knocks
10.
up
Ooh, that really
PK, and that Alawi does find the soul of Aphelios. Aphelios
Oh, he
is down.
lived.
Purple Q.
Cyclone uses that Shuriken to jump in onto the TK. The TK does fall down,
Nice
and it's
chance.
a double kill for the Akali. And it looks
Oh
like
my
the
God.
Arcadius is
Alawi
gonna
kills
come through, but here comes Alawi. The Alawi gets a shutdown on the mid laner.
Cyclone
What has
took
this
that
game
really well.
turned into?
We are.
I mean,
we-
both mid laners
are gaming.
smurfed that very
are-
hard.
We are Clown Fiesta territory. That's where we are.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Both mid laners played that exceptionally well. I will
Oh
say.
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, they know how to play these champs for sure. Yeah, and what I was going to say before that happened was I understand why they went for the 3-man top, because if they can cancel Jax's base, they can dive him and take the tower. But they're just way too late on the rotation, and then they end up getting caught, and then it spirals into them losing Herald. But they do end up getting a pretty good team fight on the back half of that. Cyclone has a lot of gold now on this Akali. However, like we saw how hard he had to work for those kills in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, the Briar was already 1 HP by the time he got there, which is
Yeah.
good. That was also a shutdown, I believe.
It was, yes.
Yeah, it was. Pretty big
Yep.
shutdown, too, but this mid tower should fall, kind of like open up the map a little bit more, kind of increase that goal lead we've been seeing KNP Force slowly build as the game's been going on. The fact that it's 3K apart, I mean, you would
Wait, they have
arguably
objective
say
bounties?
the game seems much closer. Yeah, they got active
Riot.
objective bounties. I don't know.
What?
I've seen that they
Huh?
can proc from like between like 3K and like 10K. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can be like 8K gold down and they still won't proc.
And
It's
you
like, what are
just
you
don't have
doing?
objective bounties, yeah. Why do they have objective bounties? I'm so confused.
It should fall off after this, yeah.
Yeah,
What
they
does-
do get a top lane tier 2. Cyclone can keep going further as well. He does have TP for this dragon play, so he can put a lot of pressure on this top lane. Someone may have to base to match him. No TPs on this side of KNP. It will be
They gotta
Tom
walk
Kench
up
actually
there.
taking the base, but they will give this dragon and try to get this top lane tier 2, which I think is a... They do need this tier 1 mid lane, though. I don't know if
well,
they'll get
he
it.
just started hitting it, so that
Yeah, he just started hitting it, yeah. Briar ult goes mid lane, lands on a Kog'Maw.
Oh, here we go.
Kog'Maw gonna be
This
able
guy's
to,
dead.
He's gonna get jumped on. The Swiftness is gonna be able to find the 2 charms, but I don't think that's gonna be enough damage nor
It's-
heal that the Kog'Maw is going to need.
Briar's
Vectorax
fair.
still on the pursuit, and he is gonna eat up that Rakan. Rakan manages to get out of their way with the Grand Entrance.
Yeah,
and-
Kog'Maw is so hard to play in this game. If Kog'Maw doesn't have flash, he's almost always dead in every fight. It's so
Yeah.
hard to play this champ in this game.
The second
It's
I
kind of
saw
like
it land.
the Sivir in game 1. Like Kosher's not playing poorly. It's really hard to play his champ in these games.
it's so unlucky, especially like you mentioned, it's a 4-threat comp, so
Yeah,
literally
it's a
any
4-threat
one of
comp.
them,
3 of them are dive champions, and you're stuck playing Kog'Maw,
and you have no flash.
and you have no flash.
like it's up now, but I imagine like in the next fight it's gonna be down again, and then we're gonna see the same thing just happen. It's a rinse and repeat
Yeah.
with these immobile champions. Like Kog'Maw is not a bad champion. He's really good.
No,
It's
he's
just when
really good. Yeah,
It's just when he doesn't have flash, it's like
yeah. No
rude.
flash, no peel into a dive into like a 4-threat comp. 3 of those being dive champions. It's hard to play this champ in this game.
It's definitely on the verge of being Joe lost.
Like as much as he is like 30 CS down and like 0 and 3, it's really not his fault, to be honest.
I
Like, it
actually
really
lied.
isn't.
That
What's my
last
new-
kill, that last step, definitely not his fault.
No. Just Briar ult.
It's just he gets hit by Briar ult, doesn't have either summoner spell, so he's just dead.
And I'm gonna change my saying from "it's Jover" to what I saw yesterday. It's Chover.
It's Joe Lost.
For those of you who don't know, Shox tweeted a picture of Chovy being sad, saying it's Chover because they got eliminated. Unlucky. I mean, but the worst part is Genji looks so good in those other games, but I'm not gonna start that conversation because I will not shut up, and we should probably
stick to the game that we're looking at right now, which there is a Baron start. Both top laners are in the bot lane as well. There is an engage from Silas.
Red and white. The Swiftness is gonna find a few targets at the grand entrance onto Arcadius. Really good way to stall for time. And then Briar's going to be able to go berserk. The mid laners are 1v1 right there on the north side of the blue pit. And Kento's going to be able to come up clean. Best support. Finds 3 people with that grand entrance. Kento's going to be able to find Kosher. Kosher is going to be able to get the lead. And it looks like it is all over for that fight. Red and white, boys, you don't fight. Double kill for Arcadius.
We have been a Philios. Also, I do want to say, Tendo played that really well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I see why he got Silas spammed against him a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Kosher was doing well, free hitting for most of that fight, but one set of chains lands and he's just one shot. Aphelios gets like 15 chakrams off that ult as well, just starts shredding.
So good.
Yeah, and then they get Baron off the back of that. Now we're at a 6,000 gold lead and no objective bounties, by the way.
Oh, they're coming up.
They're now coming up? Okay, I just saw that in the bottom corner. Okay, so we have objective bounties now back up for PF Mind Goblins, and how close is Aphelios to his IE? He has it. He's like 100 gold off. He's probably gonna. Oh no, he just has it. Yeah.
Okay. So that IE second item, I mean, which means
1525 combination cost when you combine cost when you have BF sword and pickaxe. I just remembered. Okay.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, with him having that second item, finishing that mythic, this is gonna be a very fun time for the Aphelios, especially if he ends up with red white again. It's just gonna be quite disgusting to see.
Wait, is he using the good gun cycle?
Let
me check.
He
is. No, yeah, he is. My goat. I don't have to yell at him. I yell at pros all the time because they go the really stupid one, and it's like, why are you going this gun cycle? It makes no sense.
I wonder why Aphelios has barely played this year, but also there's just better picks.
Like there are certain there's 2 gun cycles that Aphelios players do that I see in pro. One of them is this one, which I think is better, and then the other one is the dumb one that I talked about earlier. Yeah. And then there's an even worse one where they have white and then purple, and it's like, why? That gun combination actually does nothing.
You know what? That's pretty fair.
Because Gravitum is the only gun that you can't generate chakrams with.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
And there's a gun cycle that has purple white in it, and it makes no sense.
Interesting.
And I see pros go it all. I saw Deft do it last time we played Aphelios. It makes no sense.
You mean the young lad Deft did it?
Yeah, and that gun cycle is default gun cycle. It's default, but you swap where blue and purple are, and then that one makes no sense. And that's what Deft does. And that you end up with purple white, which is a terrible gun combination. Anyways, though.
All right, yeah, I was about to say, here we go. We're playing.
Berserk from the Briar ult is going to hit. Flash forward from Kento to try to get onto the Goblin. He does get onto the Goblin. He is eliminated.
I was doing work, though.
And I don't know how well this fight is going to go because it is all KMP here.
Yeah, 4th threat comps. You one-shot the Aphelios, but there's a lot of damage left, and it's fed damage at that. This Aphelios is 3-1 and 11, by the way. Looking like a support down there. And honestly, with how the Silas's Briar are playing, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't think they can end. Baron buff should be
I think they can. Oh, well, no, they get inhib and they back off. No, they get back off.
They can just go back, get inhibitor, back off, get on Soul Point, because this will be Ocean Soul Point if they decide to go for it. Aphelios is already on his way there by the looks of it, so the next call will be the Drake from here. I think
like
Jax
what
will.
Doing.
Yep, I was gonna say Jax should just end up going to the top lane, getting some pressure there. Baron buff should fall off.
No, he's taking that blue buff. What do you mean?
Okay, never mind. That's even more Chad. We'll go ahead and accept that instead. And they know too.
He needs mana. Need to get that blue buff.
He's gonna take blue and then go top, I'm assuming.
We're gonna take this. Nope, he's not even gonna try.
He might just have to base here though, because he has no Baron left. Yeah, I think he has to recall. You want to stay tempo matched with your team. If he goes top, he's completely off tempo, so he kind of just gets collapsed on, which is what was about to happen, and now he's basing, so he doesn't get collapsed on. So it's really good base timing there from Holy Spartan. They do, however, need to play on one of these side lanes. My assumption is they play into top. Just because Baron is next objective on the map, so they kind of and they have no TPs, so they kind of have to play on the same side. Whereas if the Holy Spartan had TP, he could play on bot right now, but he has to play top because he doesn't have TP.
Indeed. And I just want to memeingly point out that Spartan just finished his tier 2 boots about 45 seconds ago.
I mean, the other top laner doesn't even have him, so.
I mean, I respect it. I love it.
Yeah,
we're just like Demagi. We're just going straight Demagi and just gonna try to kill each other.
Just damage. Best form of CC and defense is damage.
Exactly. But looking across the board right now, the score being 7-20 in favor of KMP.
9,000 gold lead.
Yeah, 9,000 gold lead. This is the next thing, like you mentioned, is the Baron.
Ooh, bot play.
Oh, I don't know if my Goblins are going to be able to win this. The Grand Entrance is going to knock up Grant Torino, but Vexarax is here in response. Cyclone forcing the... Might have to be able to use that flash, but I love Best NA tanking that ultimate, and the Grand Entrance is going to keep him in that tower range just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, I see division.
They should get this tower.
Verax was kind of babysitting there. Oh, Silas is here.
Naruto is here, and he has the swiftness.
Quickness?
The quick? I thought it was the swiftness.
It's quickness.
Or like down with the sickness. All right, I'm
True. They can dive this if they want to on next wave.
I think they will.
Arcadius, why? He messed up his gun cycle. Nice TP, actually.
Oh, clean TP coming out from the Alawi. Exhaust falling down onto Jalapeno, but he is just re-autoing there in the backline. Kento's health bar getting dangerously low. Shutdown going over to the Alawi. Really nice use of the Bray skin right there. Vexarash is trying to save himself with the flash for the
huge
support.
Kills, actually.
And that is 2 down for the side of KMP.
Cyclone.
I think he does.
Does not actually. Wait, he is.
I think he does. He has perfect execution in 3 seconds. Nice flash.
UW?
Nice ult. There's the perfect execution.
Oh, good flash.
Nice flash forward, forward.
He had. Oh my god!
That stopwatch. Don't know what that was going to be doing right there, but Briar ultimate going wide.
Well, if he doesn't stopwatch, he dies.
And Slippery just flashed. Just try to kind of secure that kill there, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it because
Baron's up in 2 seconds.
So they're trying to zone them off. I mean, Jax has TP anyways, even if they decide to do it. So the call will most likely be that they're gonna force Baron to get this Jax TP. Yeah, they should. This is what they should do.
He has to base and TP.
Okay, they got a ward on it. So
they have a pink on it. They have to clear it.
They do have to clear it.
If they see Gran Torino backing, I think they start it. Yep.
They don't know. He also.
Oh, they do have a ward right there in that tri-bush for the Jax TP.
They have a few wards here. They can just run it down mid though.
Oh boy, this is gonna be tense. But the Baron will be started up. They do see it. Akali is coming from.
Oh, the Briar ultimate is gonna go right into the middle of that Baron pit, but Silver Knights is gonna be able to get out of that one. The mid laners yet again are duking it out, but Cyclone is gonna be the one to fall. And then look at Jalapeno just ripping apart Grant Torino, but now he has to focus down on the Holy Spartan. Holy Spartan is going to try to jump onto that Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw doing a really good job to get down there, but Kento does not let him go. And meanwhile, the rest of KMP annihilates Mind Goblins. Ace! And might be the game as well.
That's game, yeah. They have a wave on mid lane. It's already pushed in for them as well. They have a super minion with themselves. Aphelios flashing for a bit of fun there. We were Apheliosing, but Alawi did a lot of damage, just kind of got trapped up on the back line, and then since your front line is both dead and trying to kill their back line, your back line ends up dying to Briar, Silas, and Jax, and they end up closing the game out. It felt a bit closer than it looks, to be fair. Like it was 25 kills to 9 and a 10k gold diff, but those last few fights felt very close because of how much damage this Alawi was actually able to do. Like Slippery played that champ very strong, and Kosher did 24,000 damage on this Kog'Maw. Just can't ever live in any of these team fights.
I think if that's like different damage on like a champion like a Tristana, who's actually pretty decent at the moment, that's probably a different bot lane that ends up happening.
I mean, I think if he's playing a different ADC, he does like 35,000 damage that game, just because he keeps dying every time because it's so hard to play Kog'Maw in this game.
Yeah,
I don't think it would have been good in that comp at
all.
In this game at all.
I think he plays Kai'Sa in this game.
Caitlyn would have been a little bit better.
Oh God, no.
I
Just
actually
because of
agree
the
with Darker.
range. Just because
No,
of the range.
you still
But
had
no,
no
no, no.
score threat.
Kog'Maw has the same amount of range.
No. Caitlyn would have been garbage. Like, I'm not denying that, like, at all in that game. I'm just saying, would it have been a little bit better?
No. It's like the four threats. It's if she doesn't have flash, and hypothetically she doesn't have
If
net,
if she doesn't have flash, she's just one shot. I honestly think like they could have gone Sivir again. Seeing the full draft, I don't like it a whole lot just because you're playing short range against a lot of like melee carries. Same thing with Kai'Sa. As much as it gives you like a better way to dive with your front line, you're also the same problem where you're short range. So I think that kind of stems with the Rakan first pick because you limit yourself in ADC pool. I don't know if he plays Zeri. I would have played Zeri in this game, but I don't know if if he's comfortable playing it. I don't really see him have a whole lot of games on it. But I think that's probably the best ADC that they could have picked there.
Okay.
Especially seeing Aphelios Tom Kench, I think you just have to go Zeri and just like
we
hope.
as we look at the goal graph too, it was just pure control from them the whole game.
Yeah.
Alawi, did do a lot of damage. 23,000 versus
yeah.
Sylas's 27. I mean, that's just what that champion can do.
Kog'Maw also did 24,000 damage as well. Like
so like it's just they were so behind is what made that game impossible. And just every time they tried to fight, Kog'Maw was being one shot in the back line because 3 dive champions, and it's just the way it is. And Akali couldn't really do work, unfortunately. But that'll take us to game 4. Will we get the full 5 games? I mean, just Mind Goblins will have to do some adjustments, but don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after a quick break for game number 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Risen's Unstoppable
Yep.
League. I messed that
We
one
got
up.
there.
We got semifinals on us. If you're joining us right now, it is KMP4 versus the Mind Goblins. KMP4 2-1. We are potentially on series point if Mind Goblins find a way to flip and turn this one around. But it looks like everybody's getting ready for draft, so I will let you boys handle that one, and I will sit patiently waiting to see how that goes.
So
Okay.
I don't think Mind Goblins again on blue side. I do not think that they need to adjust too much terribly. I mean, they were doing whatever they did in game one worked, but at the same time, that was also because K and P seemed to be not warmed up yet, if that makes sense. But now it seems like they're online, they're on like all in, not like exactly.
Their macro's a lot cleaner.
Their macro is a lot better.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, was game one literally just the warm up game, and
I
now
don't
what are
think
we doing
so.
here?
I think it was like I don't want to call it a warm up game because it's a little bit disingenuous to PF Mind Goblins.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think PF Mind Goblins played those fights very well, and they had a composition that played to where they can just kind of like hands gap. And then they played that last Baron really, really well. So I do like this adaptation from them. I do think they should not go first pick Rakan because it really pigeonholes them into specific AD carry pools. I think, yeah, Xayah first pick is actually pretty strong here. My only concern with Xayah first pick is you kind of open yourself up to, because now they can go. I don't like this Rakan first pick because like now what KMP are gonna do is they're gonna do what they kind of did in game one where they go Xayah. Yep, and then they're gonna go. And they should just go Nautilus as well.
Nautilus, I think. Yeah,
they might go back to the Xayah Leona because it doesn't look like KMP4 support actually plays a whole lot of Nautilus because I haven't seen Vexrax actually play it at all this series.
No, he hasn't.
And it's been in some scenarios where it would have been good, specifically in game one. But I do think the Xayah pick is the correct thing to do here. And then they should just pick support because they got a free counter pick because they're on red side.
Yeah,
and I do think the correct pick to go for is the Nautilus, or you can go Alistar as well. I think that's also pretty good.
Or there's a chance they probably pick their jungler here, which I think would be a little early. But
again,
I'm cool with the Leona pick. We mentioned that is a very good pick. Point and click CC, Zenith Blade is a very good ability. I do wonder if Mind Goblins will pick the Sivir here. Okay. I thought we were getting spicy, but never mind. There's a chance that maybe Mind Goblins do pick the Sivir here like they did in the previous games. I was about to say I would prefer a Kai'Sa pickup instead, especially because Kai'Sa is a much better option, I would say.
Yeah.
Or
they could go Aphelios if your AD carry plays
Sivir.
Okay, I'm really worried about this Sivir pick.
Ornn blind too.
So Jax is banned. Now what can happen here? If KMP4's top lane plays Camille, I would be very scared if I was Mind Goblins.
Yeah.
Or they can just pick Poppy here again, and it's very strong. But we'll see what they go with. They're gonna go Alawi denial. Ooh, that makes.
I don't know if it's a denial per se because they did lock in Ornn.
It's not a denial. It's.
There's Camille.
I like that much better. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Please lock that in. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So either they're listening to me or they came to their senses. Because Camille, we've seen Camille into Ornn so many times, it's won every time. Because once Camille finishes her first item, regardless if it's Triforce or Sunderer, this Ornn can't play the game anymore.
It's over.
Especially with Sunderer, it's ridiculous damage. But I think Trinity Force is the more popular build right now. We've seen it more common. Silas ban makes a ton of sense. I do think KMP4 should ban the Orianna. I know it's been left open these last few games and hasn't been played. They might still go with the Azir ban though because it is comfort for Cyclone, and they kind of want to take him off of that. It feels because when he's playing his comfort champions.
Okay, interesting.
Okay,
very very interesting choice for the Maokai ban. I kind of get it, I guess. I mean, it's a really strong engage, and the one thing that can stop Camille, quote unquote, from doing whatever she wants.
They want to play Azir.
Banning that Xerath makes a lot of sense.
They want to play Azir.
That's what I was thinking. Put him back on comfort, especially since it is match point for KMP4. And if this Lee Sin gets locked in, I will be so hyped because I am now upset. But I mean, Wukong's good. I would prefer the Lee Sin personally. But
the reason why I like Lee Sin is because there's very few junglers up that are still really strong that like have damage. That is also pretty good as well. Because what Briar does is because they can't pick a tank jungle here because they won't have enough damage if they do. So they have to pick something at least that does damage. like a bruiser jungle, like a Vi Wukong Lee Sin, something like that, or like just a full-on carry jungle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they will lack damage for sure. And when you pick things like Camille Breyer and Zaya with Engage, you know that they're only gonna have Ornn as their front line because they kind of need to pick a carry jungler, which that
Gonna
isn't.
go with Zach. Okay.
Which is fine because that's one of the few tank junglers that actually does a lot of damage. I
Yeah.
mentioned it in the first game. This champ can do like 1 billion damage, and we saw it with just like a demonic embrace and full tank. So it's actually pretty decent there from them, but they will need an AD mid laner here, I feel, because they have a lot of magic damage. I don't think you want solo AP AD Sivir, although they don't really have a whole lot of
Yasuo,
front line.
Yone
Yone's not
probably.
bad. I
Yeah.
think the Yone blind's pretty good. They can just go Azir, which I think is fine. They're gonna go Victor. Okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
another comfort pick for Cyclone.
Yeah.
I think KMP4 should go Orianna. I think it's so good with their comp.
I would think so. I mean, Camille goes in the middle of them. You just hit the shockwave, and everyone dies essentially. But
Same
I
thing
mean, at
with
the
Briar,
same
yeah.
time,
Ooh,
they're
I
going
like
for the
that actually.
scaling game by picking the Kassadin potentially.
I think that's pretty good.
I won't say it puts them on a timer like we normally do because that's usually when teams are like full scaling comps. Ziggs is open, which we forgot about, and that could be potentially locked in
Ziggs
as
Leona
well.
classic.
Yeah, and all right, it's gonna be Ziggs in the mid lane, so kind of spear running
like that.
for that level 6, and then Leona Zaya in the bot lane. So I'm kind of cool with that. Hyper, kind of want to get your thoughts on this. If you could chime back in on this one.
Why hasn't Mind Goblins just be wanting the Ziggs? Is my question.
I don't think
You
their
know,
bot lane plays it.
It was banned, I think.
they
In
ban
Now-
it second rotation
Second
every single
rotation,
game.
yeah.
They've
So
banned
why
it every
not
game,
just
yeah.
B1 it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
the thing with B1 Ziggs, as much as this champ is actually insanely OP, I do think if their AD carry plays Vayne, you can't B1 Ziggs.
Okay,
Because
I can see that.
they just play like Vayne Nami and you cry.
I have yet to see the Vayne counter in a Ziggs game that I play, so
Yeah, it's very
I will
annoying.
remember that in the future.
You have to be good at Vayne. I will say that. You have to be good at the champ. But if
Okay.
if you have hands, Vayne is really good in the Ziggs.
Okay, so I don't have to.
Have
I'm in the lead.
hands.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't pick Vayne into Ziggs personally because I don't think I'm great at Vayne, so I wouldn't be comfortable picking it. But I know the matchup is Vayne favored, especially if you have like a strong support, like a Nami or like a Lulu or something like that. You can kind of just run at the Ziggs and they kind of just cry.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
you can't get abused like a lot of other ADCs can, or you can just go like Senna Seraphine or Senna TK into it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Which interesting, we haven't seen any Senate TK since the patch changes, or did we see it last week? Actually,
We didn't see it last week. No.
No, okay, so we haven't
Only
really we haven't seen that combination. That's something we
No.
could potentially see next week. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of like as we're watching the in-client draft happen, I'm like stewing over the mid lane matchup a lot because
Yeah.
I think it's more in favor of Ziggs because he's just more annoying with the
I
poke than
think
Victor
so.
can
I
be.
think you're right.
I really don't know, to be
If
honest.
Cyclone is able
It's
to
it's interesting.
keep control of the mid lane and keep his health intact, it might go even. Like you said, Ziggs is just so annoying. I mean, especially when you use your bomb and target it at the backline casters. It kind of just auto procking the like radius and getting easy free damage onto whoever you're laning against. It's really annoying.
I could consult the Ziggs OTP in the background and ask how the matchup goes.
Yeah, I mean, fair. That's
Yeah.
something. That's a little bit of insight we can end up getting. I know for me personally, because I don't play Ziggs into Victor that much. I really only play Ziggs into situational matchups.
I mean, I play Ziggs in the bot lane, so I don't go up against Victor's often.
Yeah, because like I've
Yeah.
played Ziggs into Orianna, Syndra, like things like that, which it's arguably not favored for Ziggs into Syndra because Syndra
It's kind
exists.
of weak.
That and like things like that. It's a little better into Orianna. Just Orianna is
Skill matchup.
I say it's a little better into Orianna until Orianna hits level 5 when that Q starts hurting.
Skill
Then
matchup.
it's kind of swings into her favor. But overall, I mean, Ziggs Victor, this mid lane should be very interesting. Hard
Yeah.
scaling for Victor especially because. I mean, if he gets ahead, as we've seen it, and we've seen at Worlds where Victors are just one-shotting people, so that is a potential thing that could happen.
This
for
game is
Cyclone.
gonna really come down to the mid lane like jungle duo,
Mhm.
because because both Victor and Ziggs have really incredible like wave prio and wave clears, so like they are gonna need help from their jungler to come and get the push to
Yeah.
get those objectives. So how I mean the way the two mid laners have been playing, like
Yep.
it's been
They're
pretty
both good.
nutso. Been
Both
pretty
good.
nutso to see. But now we're on control mages instead of like
Yeah.
it's like an assassin or like a blow up kind of a champ. So I'm
Yeah.
actually I'm curious to see how this matchup goes.
I don't know how much Ziggs Tenno has played, but I know that Cyclone has played a decent amount of Victor and is pretty good at it. This is a skill matchup. It's pretty back and forth. It really depends on
Alright, what do we got
how Ziggs can get
for
abused. My
summoners?
main concern though
Still no cleanse.
my main
Well,
concern
no.
for PF Mind Goblins is the fact that
I
they have both of their side lanes are losing.
Yeah.
Both top and bottom are losing.
I don't like the exhaust for Sivir, and I do like it at the same time.
Because
It's
like
weird.
grasp 'em.
the thing is,
Okay.
right? I like Grass Camille because you can farm Ornn for it.
Oh yeah, it's free farm.
Yep.
Not subscribed to the.
I don't like the exhaust on Sivir. I thought
Like
about it.
I understand the mindset, like, oh, I need the exhaust because
I get
Briar
it.
Camille
Yeah,
get on my
yeah, I
face.
understand it,
but
right? But
if
you
they're
just
in your face, you're kind of already dead. So why even?
yeah.
Need this?
It's a similar problem to last game or the last time we saw them play Sivir, like game 1. Where you don't like the spell shield doesn't do enough for you to warrant not taking cleanse
Yeah.
because you're playing against Ziggs, right? Like
Right.
it's so easy to burn spell shield because you kind of have to spell shield a Ziggs Q, especially later because it does so much damage, and then you can just get chain CC'd by a solar flare. And same thing goes if you spell shield the solar flare, you can get layered CC on top. You can get hit by a Ziggs bomb, not have anything to deal with that. Same thing with the Camille hook shot. Like there's so many things you have to spell shield that you have to be worried about. Not taking cleanse to like deal with that initial CC from the solar flare and from the Leona, you kind of have to have flash up permanently really to be able to live or position perfectly. So I think not playing without playing without cleanse on server this game is very difficult. I think the same thing goes with Xayah, to be honest. I think playing without cleanse this game is very hard because you have to cleanse that initial Rakan engage if you don't have Featherstorm. Otherwise, you're going to get chain CC'd. Now, it makes more sense for Xayah to not have cleanse because most of it's knockups, right? The only thing you're cleansing is the quickness or the gravity well, right? Because Ornn is all knockups, Zac is all knockups except for his Q, which you can cleanse. But you do have to cleanse that initial Rakan engage.
The exhaust and the ignite as well.
Yeah, I think the cleanse is more understandable for not taking for Xayah. I personally would, just because cleanse flashing Rakan is so important in lane because you can get really abused at 6 not having cleanse on Xayah. But yeah, I think for game it's fine. But yeah, Sivir not having cleanse, it's gonna be a really tough game for Kosher to play.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, the only good news is this time instead of having 4 threats, now you have 2.5. Because I'll say Ziggs ult on its own as its own thing.
It's 4.
It's still 4, unfortunately.
I mean.
Ziggs is a threat. I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you mean though. It's not like it's not dive threats, right? Like you're not getting dove on by every champ. So like last game they had 3 hardcore dive threats with Briar, Silas, and Jax. This time they only have 2 dive threats with Camille and Briar, but Ziggs over the top of a Hextech ultimatum and a solar flare is gonna do a lot of damage. However, we've rambled on for far too long. Spectator delay was the entirety of what we were talking about. So we'll see you guys in a little bit after a very short break to get onto the rift for game number 4 here for PF Mind Goblins and KMP4.
We got there.
We all did. I just realized we never did Dragon Souls.
Don't
I
look,
was
don't
gonna
look, don't
say
look.
that. I was about
All right,
to.
it's Ocean, so I'm gonna predict Ocean. I'm kidding. What's the Gamba this game?
I'm picking
Mountain.
Infernal, so. All right, you're going Mountain. All right, I'm Infernal. Hyper, what you got?
It's Ocean right now. Chemtech. It's Chemtech Soul.
It would be the first Chemtech of this series. Not Dragon, but Chemtech Soul of this series.
Yeah.
But as we are now witnessing, it is a not exactly 5-point stance, but kind of drawing the battle lines here in the river. They will drop a
Plus
ward.
5 gold, easy.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, dude, that's 5 gold easy. I'm not gonna lie. I can't stand Kosher taking Cole every game.
Listen, I honestly think Cull in most of these lanes is fine. Because most of these lanes are farm lanes. You're not playing against like Samira Pike or something like that, where you like there's no reason you ever think that you're gonna be able to farm this lane. The thing with Cull is it's like never bad. It's just greedy. Because you do have lane sustain with it. It still gives you 7 AD. It's just a super greedy starting item. I much more prefer what. Yeah, I much more prefer what Arcadius has been doing, which in some of these games he's been buying Cull on his first base.
Yeah.
Especially when he gets early leads. Like I think he did that in the Jinx game and the Affiliates game last game. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but he did it in the Jinx game. Yeah, I like that much better. If you get an early lead basing for Cull on like a cheater after like a 4-stacked wave or something, if you get like an advantage in lane early, I do like that Cull buy. But starting Cull is not good. Is never bad. It's just really greedy. So it's like, yeah.
It's just X has shown that he's not afraid to pull the trigger. So that D blade, like,
after Dorn's buff, it's like you almost should go at every single game.
Yeah.
It's 10 AD and 100 HP and Omnivamp as well. So it's just like almost inexcusable to not. But yeah, it's just a greedy starting item purchase. It's not like bad though.
Yeah. And I kind of want to like get a feeling for how this jungle tempo is gonna go, because it looks like right now, oh, never mind, gank in the mid lane.
Oh, gank in the mid lane. Gravity
Well is
gonna be
good. Gravity Well.
Finds the stone onto the Ziggs. Kanto not gonna be able to get out of this one. He ticks over to level 3, flashes to get out of there, but Silver Spice is gonna flash in response, and a first blood going over to PF Mind Goblins.
It
may have been down, I think.
Well, he leveled.
Oh yeah, it was down.
He did level.
Yeah, it was 2 seconds. I think he went W second.
I think so.
Oh yeah, he did. He popped it on Zach when he queued. I saw that. Okay.
Okay. Yep. All right. Well, so that was just down. Unfortunately, ends up dying, giving the first blood over.
Got a really great trade down there.
Yeah, I saw it. It was a really good grand entrance coming in for the recon.
Super early, 2 OP.
Yeah. Looks like we got a Briar coming down here. So Gran Torino going to be looking for something, but will be spotted on this ward unless they keep walking. Okay, never mind.
I mean, Vexerax still has flash.
All 4 summons are available for both of these bot laners, so nothing really should happen. They just know that Briar's on Scuttle.
I'm just kind of curious, like, what's the call here?
Yeah, me too.
The emote.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's just the board Jinx emote. It's like, yeah.
It is a pretty good emote. I do enjoy it.
I don't think I have that one yet.
I always flash the Teemo thumbs up when people are freezing against me. Yep. I don't think it really does anything.
Pops the ghost, gets out of the gravity well. Berserker is able to come through, finds the stun, but Cyclone flashes over that wall, and
I don't know if he had to.
All I gotta say is double scuttles.
It's a tough call, right? I think the flash is definitely the safe play. Because what can happen there is he gets W'd like backwards and then like Q'd and comboed, but I don't think he dies. Yes, he probably has to flash at some point, so I think it's fine.
Silver Knights' patience.
This wave is massive.
Dude,
they know
right now. Oh, so
do
good.
They?
But they do find Vexerax. They get the knockback. The Ignite taken away, and all I gotta say is Arcadius could care less. I got
the base. Just take the base. Yeah, just get out of there,
I got items. You have fun. I'll meet you back there.
I am a little salty though that kill went to best support instead of the Sivir. Yeah. That is the one thing my gripe with that. I mean, it was a free kill. It should have gone to Sivir, to be completely honest. And yeah, that is
I honestly think that kill is bad. I know that sounds weird, but they completely killed their bot tempo because of how massive this wave is.
Yeah.
So if Briar wants to, after bot camps, they do have a faster tempo for Drake because their bot lane has to base, or Kosher and best support have to base.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. When you put it that way, I'm agreeing with you more and more because like now that
they're
Arcadius
behind on
and Vectrex
items.
are back, yeah,
They can't base and they don't have tempo in lane.
they might die here
and
actually.
they
Oh,
pushed
that was
that lead, a
close.
really nice spell shield right there to make sure that Blade
No
Caller.
flash.
Oh, not again.
But in the mid lane, we're
Nice
just gonna
W.
Gravity well.
gank. Kenta falls down to Cyclone.
Okay. Tenology is kind of
I mean,
feeling it.
Yeah,
I mean,
Tenno
Tenno
is.
was a flashless Ziggs. I mean, it's kind of a repeat gank, honestly.
Yeah, you can W Zac out of his slingshot, by the way. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. They lose Spiral on Drake because of that bot lane play.
Interesting. Okay. No. Yep. As we're watching it in full effect, you are 100% correct. This Drake will go over, which is an ocean. Please don't be an Infernal next. I can't take this anymore. They will go ahead and...
We're gonna help this guy,
There's
right?
no
We're
way.
gonna help my jungler, right?
Oh, the other jungler isn't gonna
my
get in there and
God.
steal it away?
It's
I'm
a
so
chem
shocked
check.
that Arcadius peeled off of that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I'm Silver Knights didn't dive into that.
I don't think they knew, like,
Oh,
until he
heck
got
yeah.
around. Nice Hextech
Interesting
ultimatum.
ultimate coming from the... Not an interesting, but a good ultimate coming from Holy Spartan right there.
Doesn't
Yeah.
kill, though.
I said
Doesn't have the
interesting, but I
damage.
meant good.
I went
Neither of them
Cullen
is
this
back at the
lane.
moment.
Oh, he went Cull on first base.
Oh, interesting.
I do like Warden's male first base.
Yep. Hold on.
Okay.
No, wait. Are you?
He doesn't have the
first
right
striker?
rooms. He doesn't have the right room set up.
Hold on. No, let me check.
Uh-oh, we're getting the real facts.
It's different runes in every matchup.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
That's how runes work, you know.
They are pinging the crap out of this Recon. They saw
Yeah.
the ward. He saw him on a ward, so they're
Grasp.
yo, leave.
Grasp, demolish. Nope, he doesn't have the right runes. L.
Not a subscriber to the Yorn document.
Nope.
Unlucky.
Nope. We almost got there.
Oh.
The grasp is correct, but the secondaries aren't.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we got the upgraded E on the Victor now, as he is feeling pretty good about his positioning in the game right now at the moment. Up 600 gold is not. Oh wait, hold on. Bot
Grand
lane.
Entrance is gonna miss Arcady. He's kind of just standing right there. The spell shield popped a little bit early right there, but the Zenith Blade goes in, finds
tower.
Best in A, but they're just dealing a lot of damage. Kosher
Victor's coming.
being able to free hit a really good Grand Entrance right there. Ziggs ultimate coming
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
why they
flash.
tried to fight
Oh,
that.
Cyclone on a really good rotation. Brighter
Where's
ultimate
this
not gonna be able to
Brighter
hit
going?
anybody. But it looks like
Cyclone?
Cyclone's going for it. Drops the
He's
ultimate.
gonna-
But here comes Keno. The bouncing bomb finds his target. Gets some damage, but that what is that? The ray? What is that called? Just the
Rakan
ray.
got the kill again.
Ray of Death.
Yeah, the one thing I will always say, regardless if it's pro play, amateur play, or solo queue, if your support ends up with a bounty, that is bad because it is guaranteed to go over.
with it, yeah.
At some point, that shutdown
Wait, it's
will
called
go
the Death
over.
Ray. I love it. It's actually called the Death Ray. Call the Forge God, but hook shot too good to get out of there.
Indeed. They see Briar on the other side of the map, so the Rift Herald was also taken in the... Oh, we're still going here.
I'm just
Witness
surprised
me!
Oh,
Really
okay.
Good flash by Holy Spartan.
I'm just surprised that Arcadius and Vectrex actually went for that play in bot lane. Like they got out and they re-engaged, which is why they ended up dying because they just don't have the damage right now. Sivir is better early game than Xayah is, especially after the Xayah nerfs a few patches ago. Her early game is very bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they just don't have the damage to match it. I don't think they realize that 100%, and they
Next thing ultimatum is up. Hold on a second.
It is, yeah. This guy is a little bit dead on my screen. He does have flash though.
They're pinging a lot. They are aware Rakan is coming, and Kosher should just get out of this pretty scot-free. Okay.
This wave sucks for Kosher.
Oh, yeah.
This wave sucks.
Arcadius is this game.
It's
has
Sivir.
been
He's Sivir, so
freezing.
he should be able to break it just fine. Yeah. If he's any other ADC, he's crying right now.
like Ezreal or something, and like, all
Yeah,
right,
he's
the
crying.
best. But as stated, the game currently we're cresting over
Oh,
the 10
it's
minutes.
still bad. Oh
It's
no.
really
God,
bad.
they're
It's
keeping
It's
it there
not.
too.
It will slow push out because it's only 2 FHP casters, so it's fine. But it depends on how he. Oh, he
Yeah,
definitely-
but how aggressive Kosher hits the wave is going to depend on how bad it is.
Well, he's making it worse for himself, but
He did clear it, thankfully.
I
Yeah,
think
he's playing-
Arcadius is
he-
aware.
he has Noon Quiver, which is the Noon Quiver on level 5 is a breakpoint for Sivir to one-shot casters with like QW.
Mhm.
So she has her wave clear breakpoint. So she actually can't be frozen on anymore unless it's like just outside of tower, and you have to zone her off the wave, which is hard to do when you're down. So you should be fine.
Looks like as we are now 10 minutes into the game, 1,000 gold lead over to the Mind Goblins at the moment. Ooh, that was kind of close, and love the thumbs up there. Looks like they're gonna dive this actually, so this is gonna be very interesting.
This wave is not big enough.
Seconds.
Yeah, that is not the wave because that Featherstormer is really good.
Here comes Briar.
Briar ultimate from over the top of the wall, jumping right in onto Kosher. Let's go over to the jungle play real fast because it looks like Arcadius is just putting in work. Back down to the bot play. Gran Torino.
Why did they go on Zach?
The quickness, doing
a very
really
good question.
job appealing for Kosher. Kosher gets out of that one alive.
Oh, he mistimed it.
Oh, he dies now.
Or just solo kill.
Yeah, that's all that was. Just a solo kill at the top side, and now the Chemtech Drake will come down. That will go over most likely. Server's resetting, so actually maybe not. They're not going to start it, I guess. Okay,
the fact that they went on Zach makes me feel like Gran Torino thought that ult would miss.
I think so too, because I think if she's there,
because if Gran Torino's with them in that Tribe Rush, they can definitely like fight that 3v2. But since his ult hit, they actually can't fight either side of that.
Yeah.
I think he thought the ult missed and they called to go on Zach. Or it was just a bit of miscommunication, like maybe Vexrax thought the ult missed.
Do we think Silver Knight steals this?
Well, he can just fly over.
There's a Zaya, so it's a bit hard.
Yep, they're going to. Did you just walk over it and smite it? Oh, damn.
Zaya is able to
there's a
smite
Zaya.
Here, but a really good pullback coming from Silver Knights.
Fire might die.
It's going to be a Hex
Just
Tech.
have to leave.
Cyclone is doing a really good job of laying down the damage.
Yeah.
He finds the kill on a Briar. They might have lost the Drake, but they do find the kill on the jungler. Drop the Herald there in the jungle.
Wait, the Sivir can one-shot it.
It is Hextech Soul this game. I don't think
Anybody say Hex-Tech? I said
Rats. I didn't.
Potentially the final game of the night, and we're wrong.
Why are they allergic to giving kosher plates? I'm so mad.
Uh-oh. Right, yeah, I see what you're saying too, because like Homeboy was not near. So
why?
3,000 gold almost. I'll say about 2.5 actually.
That's the third time I've seen him Herald bot when his AD carry's not there.
Yeah.
No shot.
Yeah, it's like the first two were like fine, but like that one's actually a little bit tilting. As an ADC, like he's one-shotting wave to try and crash it. The Herald's too fast, and then he gets no gold for it.
So now that I think of gold, let's talk about like the positioning of the KNP right now as they are down like
they are
about
down a lot.
2.5k gold.
Yeah.
13 minutes into the game. So what? Okay. Yeah, if that hit, that would have been very unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
actually he has flash. He should be fine.
If not Mind Goblins, if KNP want to come back into this game, well, like, what should they do? I think Camille should probably turtle this, like, somewhat. Oh, hold on a second. Never mind.
The Solar Flare, the Zenith Blade, the Blade Collar, the Chain CC!
Oh my god, and the shutdown doesn't go to Zaya.
This game, we're just allergic to giving our ADC skills.
So, 1, I was right. Rakan dies, gives over the shutdown. 2, I'm a little pissed off that did not go to Arcadius.
These AD carries are molding. If I was either one of these guys, I'd be a little mad. I'd be a little upset.
Oh
like
man,
that one was a free
that one is somewhat understandable because of the ignite, but Leona did just auto the guy, so you know, how much is it ignite? How much is it not? But
just like, God bless.
I would be more upset if I was kosher because I got no plates off the Herald play, got none of the kills off the bot lane play, and my support had a shutdown that he just gave over.
Kills wasn't ignite, so I'm not too upset about one of them.
Yeah, the ignite, one of them was ignite, so it's like the ignite ones are like kind of understandable.
I see the play. I see the play.
Briar does find the ultimate. The ultimate change in return by Kosher.
Not there.
Jumping in onto the support. The ball from Ziggs not going to be able to land anybody. Blade Caller only stops the Zac. A really good flash coming out
Arcadius
of Vexrax
dropped
right there to get out of the grand entrance. It was a good play. I like where it was headed, but unfortunately,
I can't believe he dropped the thumbs up.
And Kosher doesn't get that kill either.
Like, I can't believe he dropped the thumbs up. That's too funny.
That's the third kill to
so
Rakan.
mad.
Rakan's 3-1. This should be a 3-0 Sivir right now.
She should honestly be 4-0. Like realistically, like at minimum 2-0-2, right? Like
Yeah.
minimum 2-0-2, 3 plates, but instead they're only 300 gold ahead of the Zaya. They should be like 1k up right now.
So I'm kind of gonna retract my statement about the goldie because most of it is on the support.
Yeah, it's all on Rakan.
It's just like, so the game's kind of an even.
Now, to be fair, Cyclone is 1200 gold ahead.
I was about to say, Cyclone and Silver Knights are up a little bit.
Yeah, Silver Knights is like.
Oh, by the way, Zaya just evened the gold.
Yeah, because she got a
First
Full tower.
Yeah, full tower local gold.
So like, yeah, so we got a Hex Tech in just over a minute's time. I do imagine with this Dragon stack that I do expect KMP to be there for this. They really should reset like right now so they can get back on the map. Zaya does have 1,000 gold, so that should be a call. Walgreens call hammer, I think. That's 1,100.
Caulfield's 1,100, yeah.
But she has it now.
Yeah. Then
No,
that goes towards quick plays.
She has to stay. It does, yeah.
Oh, they actually are gonna stay. Oh, okay.
She has to. I mean, there's Hex Gates actually. She needs one more wave than bases. Takes Gates, has a Caulfield's, and a control ward.
They were watching Ziggs here. If this dude gets ganked, this is pretty much a free drink.
I do gotta give it to Mind Goblins not letting Kento do what Ziggs does and just destroy towers left and right. So they're doing a really good job of keeping that champs. Like,
we're giving up bot prio. We're going top for what? I mean, we have Herald, but
I really hope they don't Herald this tower.
I would not like it either. I mean, I think it would have been
They
better
are gonna die
mid.
for Horn.
No, I understand it somewhat.
Unlock Camille.
I understand it somewhat. Like you don't need the Drake because you're already up 2 Drakes to 0 and you can get a free kill.
Oh, what a really good charge to get out of that Zenith blade.
Yeah, it isn't it?
Because this play actually isn't that bad.
Oh my god!
They get a double charge.
Yeah, this play isn't that bad because they get 2 towers off of it.
Is it just the support game carry?
They get 2 towers and they already had 2 Drakes to 0. So I actually don't hate this play at all.
Okay. Oh, they get a 3rd charge.
Because all they're doing is
maybe?
they're cross-mapping a Drake, and it's a positive gold trade for them. Now, however, Cyclone does get the it doesn't get the 3rd charge now. Cyclone does get the bot tower, so it's not a complete gold swing, but the gold lead is entirely evaporated now because of that Herald play that they just made. So I actually like it a lot that they're going for the cross map on the Drake because they don't need the soul point right now, and they didn't have the bot push for it. So, and in these fights, especially with how fed Cyclone is, they're not winning the fights for Drake, so they just go topside, kill the Ornn, get Camille some gold, so she can actually play in the side lane, and now she has the most gold in the game.
I am going mental over these support kills right now.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying.
Vexirax is 100% KP.
I mean, they're great, but
he is. You're not wrong.
That one kill should have been on the Zaya. The other one should have went to Camille or Briar.
Yeah.
But again, it was an ignite diff. Just like
these supports are just 1v9ing. What can I say?
You know what? You're right.
Wait, Lee, I think they missed the memo because Rakan has Shurelias and Leona has Radiant Virtue.
Is it supposed to be the other way around?
Well, neither of them should have Shurelias, and Rakan should be the one with Radiant Virtue.
I guess it's just to get into things faster, or things like this.
Instruments, really good sidestep by Arcades right there, and the blade caller to key Rakan just
nice ult.
He kills him here.
Oh, that's
didn't need to flash, but he kills him.
Why did he flash?
Oh, look at that! Direct to camera trolling this Chippy. It's all good. It's all good.
Why did he flash?
Don't know. That was interesting. I mean, good for him, I guess. Ends up getting a kill onto the Victor, which also was a shutdown, so lots of gold injected there. Naturally, Camille's going to win that every single time against Victor.
Oh, they might have found a pick on a Vexirax right there. Grand Entrance goes in. Kentology actually is the one that might get picked out. Really good stats to get out of there. Briar Ultimate is going to go completely wide. Hit me on. Yeah, hit me in the head, actually.
Yo, did you see that, Darter? That was a Briar ult past your window.
And that actually went through it and just hit my chair.
Oh, well, rest in peace. It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I'll see. She'll be here in about 3 to 5 business days.
All right. Yeah. Tell her to hold off so that way we can cast next weekend.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
All right, Sivir ult popped in here in the mid lane.
She's fine.
And directed cam is doing what it does. I'm going back up
there.
They're fighting the bot lane.
Yeah, there's no way they can hit Sivir.
He's going to go unstoppable, but it doesn't matter. The charge and the flash keeps him alive.
She stops the backs here.
Oh!
Oh,
They stop their backs. They
you're
find the quick
so
and stuff.
cocky.
Featherstorm
You're
follow.
so cocky. Nice flash.
Oh, the exhaust.
He dies though, yeah.
Exhaust.
Any cleansers?
We give ADCs kills now.
Yeah, but we also give junglers a double kill.
The flyer is here to collect that red buff. Does he either play the stun? I
They
don't
get
think
both.
you live here, Rakan.
Oh, why'd you flash that, homie?
Too much the grand entrance is
Ah.
gonna be enough to stop Gran Torino totally annihilating you. But Vexarax still gets the kill.
These
Holy
supports
Spartan.
are competing for kills right now.
Yeah, I believe that. Holy Spartan also was just casually down here fighting.
Briar.
So.
There's another Briar coming through my window in a second.
All right, you're gonna see Briar probably in 2.5.
I mean,
phases
Cyclone
right
is
now.
still dead, I think, but
Yeah, can we go to
Yes,
the top
flash,
there?
so maybe he's
Gravity
fine.
does find a nice flash out of that Ziggs ultimate. Gran Torino is in hot pursuit. The
Oh, he's
dash
dead
forward.
now.
He is now berserk. But I like the death ray on the after
The
trying
fun
to
champ,
lock
Riot.
the blast to get you out of there. It does go through, but she's still berserk. The gravity well suit
Stop.
does
cool
not
champ.
get out of there in enough
Cool
time.
champ.
That was
Riot
gross.
is such a balanced champion.
Yeah, not broken at
Oh.
all, by the way.
Good God, that was actually disgusting.
Not broken at all. Now we do not have any grievous wounds, which is a bit of an
True.
issue.
Not like it would matter anyway. She's still gonna heal pretty much.
Warren
Not as
does.
much as she
Warren
does.
has wounds.
But yeah, it's better on like things like Victor and Sivir. You can cut her healing while she's
Especially
smacking
since Bramble is not applied Grievous.
What do you think
Mhm.
about, I mean, more specifically, Darter, what do you think about Black Cleaver on Civ in this game?
On who?
on Sivir.
Stop trolling.
Okay, we got the
That's all,
bouncing
yeah.
ball that is known as Zag. Why is that trolling?
Who's building armor this game?
Ornn. Oh wait, we're talking about Sivir. Hold on. Brain shut off.
Who's building
no-
armor? Who?
No
I
one.
mean,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Spell shields down. You go for the
Nice
pullback. Yep.
One auto.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
auto. No, any
yeah,
cleansers?
we were watching Briar mess up the Zac right there. Didn't even know
Yeah.
what was going on in the mid lane.
I was watching. I saw
this
it
is-
happening.
This is why I think cleanse against Rakan is so important, because if he has cleanser, he doesn't have to ult the engage.
Mm-hmm. Any
So,
cleansers in the
KEKW'd
chat?
bringing this game back from what was a really rough early game, now ahead to
Yeah, they're
Albert
up
Gold.
3k, up 3 Drakes to 1. They're up in towers. They've just gotten a bunch of somewhat random kills, I want to say.
Yeah.
I also do want to. They did make a really good Herald play though. Like that Herald play top lane is kind of what started
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
They got themselves back in, nullified the gold lead, and then have just found picks since then. Good hook shot there from Camille. I think she still might die though.
Oh,
I don't think so. No, her team's not close enough.
Yeah, she's far enough away. Okay. But
Yeah,
that Herald play started the snowball.
Mhm.
for sure.
I disagreed with you until like we saw it actually happen
Yeah.
in action, because like you said, they were it was okay that they gave up that Drake, so
Yeah.
fine, they're still on soul point, whatever. It looks like they're gonna call
Yeah.
for the Baron here. They could realistically do it pretty quick.
They
I
melt
I
think.
this.
mean, they got the damage for it.
Even if they don't, they can turn really easily. Camille should TP though.
They are not melting this fast enough.
Camille should TP like
Rakan
now.
is here. Gran Torino has stopped hitting the Drake, and
Oh.
it looks like Zac is gonna go in. Call the Force God has been popped. A really
Not
nice
up.
gravity well to top it all off. A quickness
Flash either.
and a grand entrance finds the charge
Where's
and
my
the
Camille?
knockups to where they need him to go, but if Blake
Camille is
Pollard
bot?
stops it in, they're
Why is she
trapped,
bot
but a
still?
kill on to the jungler going over to the Sivir, whose health bar is dangerously low. Camille does not use the TP. She's gonna push her lead down there in the bot lane.
Why?
I think if Camille's there, that's a completely different fight. Granted, yeah, they have to reset, but
They had a flank ward and everything.
yeah, I mean, Sivir is 100% dead if like that
There's
TP happens.
that ward right there on the wall behind blue buff.
Yeah, I see it.
If Camille TP's there, she hook shots over the wall and one shot Sivir, no questions asked.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
I'm kinda baffled.
oh, what a nice knockup, followed by another knockup to change CC on the knockups.
Now
But
he's
guess
out.
what? Holy Spartan has a hook shot.
Merc treads aren't OP for sure.
Mm-hmm. God, I love Merc treads into stuff like this, and that also will be the Shadow Flame done for the Zig, so more damage being built on this champion. He will be pretty obnoxious to deal with from far range, assuming he decides to go Horizon Focus next. It
Yeah.
would be Cosmic Drive.
I think
I
he
think
just
it's
goes Death Cap, to
Horizon
be
Focus.
honest.
Honestly, I think Deathcap is a better choice.
I do
Because
agree.
here's the thing, right? Nobody's building MR.
Nope.
Not even Ornn, now that I'm thinking about it. He's just
Nobody
straight
has
armor.
MR.
Okay, I take it back. Never mind. Deathcap. Let's go Deathcap.
Yeah. Big
Right
AP,
now,
yes.
We got some standoffing happening on the top side at the moment. And director cam keeps hitting me bot side. All right. So it looks like we're kind of doing like a.
Okay, they
like
still have that flank ward. It just expired now. I hope Zai places another one. She doesn't have a. His blue trinket actually. Where's Leona?
Camille just gets this.
They need to get flank TP wards for Camille.
I agree. And
They
right
ended
now
up
it's
getting
Camille's.
the bot lane here too, but Slippery
Oh my God.
Spartan not taking this fight, and I kind of understand why, but we're going to go back over here to the jungle because Briar's going to get jumped on
Anti-synergy.
by a few members.
Here's a TP.
Coming out from the Ornn right there in the
Feels
middle of
not
the
TP.
pit, and it looks like this is all going in favor of PF Mind Goblins. They can get rid of that jungler, and then
Oh my God.
a really nice Feather Storm and a Blade Caller to
Six
put it.
doing some damage.
Cyclone is just
But oh my
doing some
God.
damage. Arcadius flashes forward, and a triple kill!
Okay.
What
I take-
was that?
I take back what I said about the Zaya.
What
Yeah,
was
what the
that?
hell was that?
I can tell this man plays a lot of this champ. I see you. I see you. I see you.
Wow, that was gross.
I'm done. I give up.
I see
give
you.
up. I give up. That was cracked.
I see you.
Wow.
I don't think
Okay.
he could play that any better.
I don't think so
He
either.
played it really well.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was-
a really clean flash.
I honestly don't even think he could play it any better. I think that is.
I wasn't expecting him to just flash in like that, but that was nuts.
That was
Respect,
disgusting.
respect for that flash.
Yeah, no, that was
Huge
that
respect
was,
for that flash, because that is
Wow.
like such a flip. If you're not good at the champ,
If you're not expecting the flash forward ever.
right? Like Sivir and Victor are not expecting her to flash because she's half HP. But there's a lot of feathers on the ground. But like that's such an easy flash to miss.
Yeah, it is. But man, just Arcadius hitting that,
Yeah.
turning that fight, getting a triple
Yeah.
kill. They're actually gonna make a call
This
on
hit
the
is
Sivir here.
Oh, not quite.
Oh.
Close.
See, that's what I was talking about. Spell shield. She can't spell shield Briar ult if she gets slapped with the Zigzag. The Briar ult does miss, but
I mean, if one of them hits, she just takes a chunk of damage,
Yeah.
regardless. But this streak in 14 seconds as we're drawing the battle lines here.
I like where Camille's going.
I say Camille has been just.
But we're
playing
gonna
the whole
TP,
game,
right?
Yeah, she's. They don't have one. No. They don't.
They have a flank ward in
They have a flank
Raptor Pit,
ward.
but they know it's
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Do they start this fight? That is the
She
question.
can also TP to bot wave if she wants. But I think she just pressures tower, and then as soon as she sees Victor, dive him, and then yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness
Rakan
gracious.
finds a really nice flank right there. The Feather Storm not going to be able to.
Dragon
get
goes
it.
over?
The
Oh,
actual
yeah,
fight,
that's soul.
Briar
They have soul
claims
now.
claims the soul, and Kosher is just going to
Sivir
get
can't play that.
annihilated. Meanwhile, we have Slippery right there in the middle of just two damage-dealing champions.
Six might be dead.
Biggs
Yeah,
is
he's
going
out
to
of there.
fall to Silver Knights, but it does not matter because they got the soul. They see him. The Zenith Blade is going to land. The Blade Caller
Minions on Nexus Tower.
is true as well. It does not matter how many times you
Why did he
flash or
flash?
how many times you root because Arcadius is unstoppable.
Yep, minions are on the Nexus Tower, and also Holy Spartan on the inhibitor.
They should
so
go mid wave, get mid inhibitor, double inhib them, and
double
then end it the
inhib
smart
in
way.
the end, yeah. That's just
Yeah,
the way
they
to
do need to base though. They can't end here. The
Yeah.
Sivir is up in 10 seconds. Rakan is up now. They should be able to get all three inhibs though.
Holy Spartan? Okay.
He's out of there. Top inhib dies. They might not be able to get in mid inhib actually. It's really risky to go for this, but they
don't. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now they just go Baron.
Yep, Hex Soul, they do have that, which is a permanent buff in the game. They're up almost 7,000 gold. It should crest to 7, assuming they decide to kind of pivot for the Baron here. I think just K and P are just in a better... Never mind. They are 100% in a better position than they were
Yeah,
about
they have
15 minutes
soul.
ago.
Yeah.
So... It's just like just these random mistakes and random picks that would happen
All right, how are they gonna do
that
this?
kind of brought them back into this game. And once again, we'll just highlight that Herald play. It's just really
If it
heads
was
up
me,
call.
we Huni Baron this. If it was me, so I yell at my top laner to go bot lane, and then we just hit Baron.
I mean, that's where Camille.
Actually, they're gonna fight at the blue buff.
Onto Slippery right there, but they're also gonna fight in the jungle. Chippy, can we go over there? Yeah, there it is. There's the fight in the jungle. I mean, Silver Knights is trying to do his best to stay alive, but he's
The
got
Sivir
four.
can't play
Never
the
mind,
game.
the game's over. Camille just
Sivir
won.
can't
Find
play.
the kill on the jungler. Camille finds
where's
the
that
kill on
Briar
the
ult
top
going?
laner, and that, boys, is gonna be game.
Sivir can't play. It's so impossible,
Poggaroo'd,
dude.
the fourth finds the win in game number 4, and they are going to be advancing to the finals.
We're KDA playing.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know
they
how
end
much you're gonna be able
anyways.
to do right there, brother.
They
Double
end
kill to
anyways.
Camille, and we are going to the finals.
Oh, it's so hard to play Sivir in this game, man. I feel so bad for Kosher. Like, this guy has had like such difficult games to play, like 3 out of the 4.
Boys, guess what? Dorado Gaming's match results got posted. Give me a second. We're gonna transition to our faces right here.
Did they lose?
Boom. Dorado Gaming Iota versus Poggaroo'd the 4th Grand Finals next Saturday.
I thought they lost. I was more hyped for that.
I was about to go nuts if they lost. That would have been so funny.
DRG, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh,
they
God.
3-0 DRG. Unfortunate for DRG.
Yeah.
Which I find funny because I think DRG talks the most smack in the general chat.
They did, yeah, they did. Arcadius like smurfed that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he did.
Can we all agree that we want to talk to Arcadius?
I was thinking the jungler. I mean, had some pretty heads-up macro calls.
I will leave it up to you guys. Darter, you're gonna be the final call because I want Arcadius.
Listen, I'm biased, okay?
Ooh.
But I'm biased, so I would say Arcadius. But I do like the shout to Gran Torino.
Let me go get him real quick.
All right, while we wait for our interviewee, let's look at those post-game results there real fast. For game number 4, it's probably going to look a lot like game number 3. But let's just go ahead and take a look at them real fast. I mean, wow, what a shift.
Yeah.
That Herald play, oh my God.
Yep. The Herald.
Yeah, the Herald play was so smart. Whose call was that, by the way, Grant? As you join us.
It was a combination of me and Holy Spartan.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were kind of like, wait, why are we making this
DBZ was flaming you, but I liked it.
No. I wasn't entirely flaming because I had 2 thoughts on this process. It's like, all right, we're diving a 75% health Ornn and Dragons up. Like, what are we doing? And then once Holy Spartan chunked him, and then you dropped the Herald, I'm like, wait, this play is actually kind of big brain because now you can dive him.
And then good luck getting away from Briar when I have
exactly.
W every 2
and
seconds.
the thing is it doesn't matter if they cross map the Drake because you're up 2 Drakes to 0, so you get a positive gold swing, gets you guys back in the game. Unfortunately, though, Leona was KSing you guys, but ended up stopping.
He needed the gold to get his.
He did,
Anathemas
faster,
gold. You know.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And we didn't really do a proper introduction, but welcome, Grant. You guys are victorious, going 3-1 over PF Mind Goblin, moving to the finals. And my question that I always ask: you guys are playing next week in the finals versus Dorado Gaming, who also is undefeated. So, what are your thoughts? And like, what preparations are you going to take going into next week?
I think I respect them a lot. I think they're a really good team with 5 good players. As for preparations, we haven't really talked about it that much yet, but we'll do a lot over the weekend and figure things out.
Yeah.
We'll probably do things revolving around bot mostly because we really trust our ADC Arcadius.
I mean, he's pretty good.
He's
pretty good.
Trust our ADC. Yeah, I trust the man.
He's pretty good.
That was gross.
I see why he plays a lot of Zaya. I can see.
Yeah, some of those flashies in that last game.
Yeah.
They were disgusting.
It was good.
What are you talking about?
I love the thumbs up DM you would sometimes give you.
The thumbs up in bot lane was so funny.
I'm gonna highlight something else with the flashes from Arcadius before I talk to you, Grant. Not only was he flashing forward, but he was flashing in the perfect position to hit the blade crawler with a guaranteed hit. Like,
yes.
So gross.
I don't want to say he has that dog, but he's got that bird, you know.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Wow, brain fart. Darty, you go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got some if you're trying to having an existential crisis over there.
I was thinking about the.
I do wanna ask a little bit about the Briar and what gave you the confidence to whip that out.
Yeah. Okay.
2 games in a row.
Yeah, 2 games in a row.
I was playing a lot of it in solo queue. It's how I made my come to Diamond because I think the champion's really strong, especially in chaotic.
Yeah,
it's broken.
How those fights were going. You know, they were really chaotic and all over the place. That's where Briar thrives. And we tried to get me to play a tank, and I was like, I think we lose if we play a tank. You know,
I agree.
I just don't have that tank dog in me. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about was that game 1 where you were playing the Poppy. Now, you were doing really good on the Poppy, not gonna lie. The keeper's verdicts hit key targets when they needed to hit them. I don't think I saw a single one miss. Personally, I mean,
At
you
least
were
not on
hitting,
screen.
you were hitting someone.
At least not on screen.
Yeah,
I didn't
on
see
screen,
anything.
you
Maybe I've
hit
been a
at
few.
least someone.
may have been a few whoopsies.
Maybe
But
here
so
and
what
there.
was the
Okay.
decision for the Poppy game? Considering your champ pool
It's so
really
free.
is these like really bruisery early game map impactful kind of champions.
Yeah.
Why the Poppy game 1?
I think the Poppy's really strong to that comp, and
Yep.
I don't think it's bad. It's just once 25 minutes hits and I'm playing that champion, I just lose all like focus and I can't like play the game properly.
Yeah. It's like I don't do any damage. This is boring. Let me
Yeah.
just right click their Nexus on repeat until someone loses.
Hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! But that was a really fun series. Not only to watch your 80 carry, but to watch you as well.
Yep.
That Jin Zhao game was
It's mental. It's Win Zhao. Every single
disgusting.
time it's on stream, it
Win
wins.
Zhao.
By
I
the
love
way,
that champion.
we saw
Yeah.
you guys whip that out the last
I really
time
liked
we
the pick.
casted you, and it was disgusting then. So like, it's gross.
Yes.
Personally, I want to see what your Lee Sin looks like. We
Yeah.
saw you hovering it.
I actually was hoping you'd pick it. Do we get to see that in the finals? Is that a game 5 pick?
Maybe if we're down 0-2 and need some magic.
Okay.
Oh,
Need some magic, I like
Need some
it.
magic. Okay.
Oh,
I like
we got
it,
some
I like it.
canyon magic.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, Darter, anything else?
No, nothing for me.
Freak?
I mean, really, just good luck next week. Dorado, as you know, is a really
Thank you.
strong team, but I do believe that you guys can make it a very competitive series.
Yeah,
and
really
I look
make it a
forward to
competitive
it.
series.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, hey, we appreciate you coming, Grant. By
No
the way,
problem.
I was looking in the general chat. You guys are going to have to coin flip to see who gets side pick for game number 1, and I think that's hilarious, personally.
I might estimate they want to do some 1v1s across the roles.
Yeah. Do Mundo dodgeball for side select.
Oh,
I like that. I like it.
Mundo dodgeball for side select.
I like it. Well, we appreciate you guys putting on a very entertaining game, entertaining series as a whole, and we absolutely look forward to seeing next week's game. I actually think you guys might give Dorado a run for their money this year.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, I
Yeah.
hope we do.
yeah.
I'm excited. It's gonna be awesome next week. But yeah, take care. Go ahead and celebrate with your
All right.
team, and we'll see
Thank
you
you
next
so
week.
much. Have a good
Thank
one.
you. You too.
All right, lads. So that reminds me now is we are setting up for the finals for next week.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be spicy. Both of these teams, as we're gonna give a little bit of a preview, both of these two teams are very good at macro decision making and very good at team fighting as well. Dorado does have the edge.
Yeah, they got some hands. Yeah.
But just
I do want to say with in terms of the edge, I will actually give the edge to Campy's bot lane. I think Dorado has potentially the stronger top side. I think we saw Tenno pop off a lot today, though. But I would give the edge to KMP's bot lane for sure.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I do agree with you. Overall, I would give it to Dorado though, because for whatever reasons they'll pull off some really nutty, dumb bull crap, and then they'll just like, oh, they're ahead now. All right.
Those hands diff people. Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. I mean, last week when we watched them play, macro wins games. Like we saw how top pressure won game. Like, just send your top laner while we hit the objective.
They play really well with split push, to be fair. Like, they play very well with split push.
If KMP can find...
that top matchup's actually going to be nutty.
Push, if they can find a way to match the split push and take the fight to Dorado's game... play Dorado's game and match it for them, like, it's going to be an entertaining series.
I think a big thing is with how much Jax KMP's top laner plays, I do think that's going to be a must ban like it was this series because of how much Camille Dorado's top laner plays. It's such a good it's such a Jax favorite matchup. They won't be able to do that same level of pressure on that Jax or on that Camille, excuse me, with the threat of that Jax pick looming without banning it. So I do think top is going to be a very contentious point, like you mentioned, and like we've said, they play really well off side lane pressure, especially through top. So I think that's a really big point to see if Dorado can continue to do that against a team like KMP, who has such a strong bot side. I really think it's going to be a matter of whether or not KMP can play that team fight style with their hypercarry ADC versus that heavy split push style that Dorado plays.
This is gonna be cool. Next week is gonna be so exciting.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's also sad because we'll be at the end after we just kind of had a pretty banger split. It sounds like it feels like we just started and we're already.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I mean, man, I kind of hope that we have. I hope we have more teams sign up for Unstoppable next year, so that way we can have
a
more
longer season. I actually don't think we'll be able to.
But can we get like play-ins?
I don't know if we'll be able to because rank split is splitting into 3 splits. So there's gonna be 3 ranked splits in next season of League. So that's gonna affect amateur quite a lot. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. But yeah. So unfortunately, it'll probably be 2-3 month seasons as it stands. Looks like.
Here's also another bout of good news. All of us were right in our predictions, except I was exactly correct in our prediction.
Next week will be my first non-3-0 prediction.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think it's gonna. Oh, go ahead.
I think I said 3-2. Did I not?
You did. Yeah.
You said 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wrong, but I did get the team right.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were right.
Wait, Freak, you were the only one who got it correct across, like, just like correct.
And this is why I say 3-2 LNG tonight.
Nah, 3-0 T1.
T1 is not gonna
stop coping. No. Stop coping. Stop coping.
They're not gonna.
They're not winning. They're not winning. Stop coping.
LPL supremacy, and I can't wait for it to happen.
There's a reason why I bought an LNG logo.
I'm actually waiting until next game to buy my logo.
Wow. Okay.
I just want to get it for the quarterfinals. Because I didn't get to play the Crystal Bowl, so like I really don't care now.
Well, you should buy your T1 logo before they get eliminated. Anyways, that's it from me, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
No.
You know what? I guess that's gonna do it then, because we could go on and on for a couple more hours explaining each other. We're gonna call it a night. Tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for Dominate. I will be there filling in for the play-by-play casting. So if you like listening to me yell at the screen, please join in. We always have Champs League on Sundays as well.
Yes, do watch Champs League. Please. And also Divine is good too. Yes. Champs League is great though.
And then Divine is Mondays, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And then Monday nights we have Divine League as well. But you have to tune in next Saturday, regardless of what you're gonna do, because next Saturday is our finals and my birthday at the same time. So you know what? You gotta come say happy birthday to the boy.
Oh man, you hear that, Dorado crew? For those of you who are in here, bring all your friends for Hyper's birthday.
It's my birthday, so I need a game. I need a banger series. No throwing for content, just banger series all around.
No throw for content, so we can get 5.
But that is gonna do it. That is gonna do it for us tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and as always, stay golden, my friends.